Yeah, what's up with it? Y'all already know. You tuned in to another episode of Everything Boxing. I don't watch reality TV. I watch boxing. There you go talking that boxing again. Yeah. We got a show for y'all today. Yeah, it's finna get real up in here today. I already can feel it. It's finna get real up in here today. And y'all already know what to do. When you come in the building, punch on that like button and hop in the comment section. Let me know you're in the building. What's good? The fam Chris Mitchell off in the building. What's happening with it? Sheena, what's going on with you, queen? Yeah, it's finna get live up in here today. And I might open up the phone lines. Today. Mr. Sheldon off in the building. Mike Rhyme off in the building. Be that beach. What's going on, queen? Yeah, we gonna get it in today. Roxanne, Mox G, what's good? Salute. LeVar Cooper, what it do? Mr. Sheldon, he don't got no wrench. I gotta wrench him up. Yeah, I gotta wrench you up, Mr. Sheldon. Give me a minute, I'm gonna wrench you up. Cause he had a wrench, but I think, man, it was a dude coming in here making fake accounts under his name. KP from KC5, what it do? Yeah, we finna get the show started real soon. Chef 4ID off in the building. What's happening with him? Yeah, finna get the show started real soon. Just wait for a few more notifications to go out, and we gonna get it cooking. In the meantime, what y'all think about that Floyd Mayweather and 50 Cent? What do y'all think that Floyd Mayweather and 50 Cent really gonna get it on? Like, that's some shit I love to see. If Floyd Mayweather and 50 Cent fight in the exhibition bout, that's some shit I would really love to see. That's some shit I would pay for. I'll pay to watch that. You think it's some bullshit, Mr. Shelf? Hey, but don't tell me you wouldn't pay to watch that shit. If they really because see, why would you try to get money with Logan Paul, right? That's cool, but if you fought 50 Cent, if you really talking about money, right? If you really talking about really getting money that people really will watch, I think everybody want to see what go down with Floyd Mayweather and 50 Cent. Because 50 Cent, he big as hell. So I think he said something like he could get down to like 180 pounds. That's some shit to see just in itself. How much weight could 50 Cent get down? Like, how much weight can 50 Cent drop? Can he get down to 185 pounds? Like, how would he look? 50 Cent made a movie where he got down to where he got real low in weight. I think it was called All Things Fall Apart, where he played a character that had cancer, and he was looking bad. Let's see if he can get back down to that type of weight. You know what I'm saying? Let's see it. That I think I would love to see that shit. I ain't gonna lie. And then, 50 Cent, if y'all don't know, he told the story. Floyd Mayweather never talked about it. But 50 Cent, he told the story back when they was cool, right? This is still when they was still cool. He said that they had got into it one night, at his crib, and they had really fought. And he was like, well, all I got to say is the champ ain't got no O on his record no more, because I beat his ass. And this was years ago when they were still cool. So 50 Cent years ago was claiming that him and Floyd Mayweather behind the scenes got into it, and they got into a real fight, and he said he touched Floyd up. Mo Bean, okay. What's good with it, Mo Bean? My man Mo Bean, he say that Floyd came out and said 50 Cent that 50 Cent don't even got to drop in weight. He'll beat his ass just like he is. I like that. Oh shit. Be that bitch said Floyd said he'll do the fight and winner takes all. See, I ain't really looked into it like that. I just seen a quick article on it. I didn't really go into it like that. Yeah, like I'm for real. I ain't with all that celebrity exhibition bouts and all that circus show bullshit. But I'll pay to see Floyd and 50 because I wanted to see Floyd and 50 fight back when Floyd was still boxing. Because, like I said, once 50 Cent came out with that story and he said that he beat Floyd's ass behind the scenes, I always wanted to see them fight. And 50 Cent, he do have a boxing background. It's been years. He was young, but 50 Cent was a gold glove. He was a golden glove in his younger years. I want to see that. Yeah, that shit'd be hard. And do y'all know how much money that would generate? Like, for real, because Sylvester 2011 was good. Thomas Reed was happening, because that fight would generate so much motherfucking money, because you got the whole everybody in the hip hop world, the pop, like every musician is gonna pay to see that, right? Then you got the boxing fans that fuck with Floyd. You got all the hip hop, like everybody gonna want to watch that. That's, to me, Floyd and 50 Cent, that's huge. That's, to me, that's 3 million pay-per-views easy. Like, that's a bag. Floyd Mayweather versus 50 Cent. Who ain't gonna go see it? Who's not gonna want to watch that? Like, for real. That's going, and then if they can do it, if they can stage that with fans in attendance, that's crazy. It's gonna break all type of records. You think about it. Roy Jones and Mike Tyson, look at the numbers they did, right? Now think about 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather. That shit crazy. That do crazy numbers. And it's actually it's intriguing. Because if 50 Cent come in there as big as he is, what 50? Probably like 230. You know what I'm saying? 50 Cent a big dude. And like I said, he does have a boxing background, so he can fight. You know, he can fight. And he going there against Mayweather. I know Mayweather gonna beat his ass in the boxing ring with gloves on, but a lot of people probably give it to 50 just because of his size and for the fact that he can fight already. LeVar Cooper said he think 50 would be too slow for Floyd. Yeah, I think Floyd get his ass. I think Floyd would beat his ass, you know. But like I said, it's still something to see. Like I'll tune in, you know. I'll be curious. Mo boxing, what it do? Yeah, and like I said, y'all, we gonna get it in today, and I might open up the phone lines for y'all. I might open up the phone lines for y'all to call in, and everything, cause we got some hot topics we're gonna touch on today. And y'all hit that like button. Y'all hit that like button. So the first topic that I want to touch on today, and hit my like button, like I said. Wait, Mo Bean says Floyd stays in shape 24/7. I saw him in Vegas partying, and he bought 10 bottles, but didn't have a single sip. Oh yeah, all the time. Floyd don't drink, he don't smoke, he don't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? He don't do none of that. And Floyd, he gonna be in shape. And I forgot who it was that said Floyd has been training right now. They said he been training like he about to go fight a world-class fighter. He already been training. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, yeah, let's go ahead and get it started. So the first topic I want to touch on is I want to talk about, you know, Gary Russell. Gary Russell, he just recently did an interview on PBC podcast. He did an interview, you know, and he talked about a lot. You know, shout out to the whole Russell family. You know, everybody know that he lost his little brother and whatnot. So, you know, Gary Russell been going through a lot. He been going through a lot. And Gary Russell, you know, he talked about how, I don't know how recent it was, but it had to be pretty recent, right? He talked about how Eddie Hearn had sent him over a contract to fight Josh Warrington. This is recently, you know. He said Eddie Hearn sent him over a contract to fight Josh Warrington. He said the contract was 50. Was $1 million. He sent a contract for $1 million for him to fight Josh Warrington, right? I believe that would have been a unification bout, I believe, right? $1 million. So, you know, Gary Russell was asked about why he didn't take the offer, and he said that he felt like, you know, it was pretty much lowballing him. He said he felt like he was worth more than that. You know, I guess they wanted him to fight Josh Warrington. I don't know, probably go over to England, you know, overseas to fight Josh Warrington, you know, over to the UK. And he said that he wasn't feeling that, you know. He thought it was a low ball. And, you know, I don't really know how I felt about that, because I do feel that Gary Russell, especially if he got to go over to the UK, is worth more than $1 million, right? But on the other hand, I'm like, you know, that's a big fight for Gary Russell. You know, and we all know that Gary Russell, he needs big names on his resume, right? Because most of these other cats don't want to fight him. You know what I'm saying? He calling all of them out, but he can't get these fights. And so I'm like, damn, you know, 1 mil ain't that is a low ball, you know what I'm saying? That is a low ball, but and why, you know what I'm saying? And you know your worth, right? Can't nobody have you go all the way overseas, all the expenses you gonna have to pay, you know, your training camp, all of that. That 1 mil, after everything's said and done, probably gonna be more like 650,000, 600,000, right? So yeah, that is a low ball. You is worth more than that. But you know, on the other hand, I'm like, but it's a big name on your resume, right? That's a name on your resume, and you need fights, right? You need fights. You need to be fighting more often, and you need names on your resume. So I'm kind of split. When it comes to, you know, when it comes to that with Gary Russell, because I would like to see him fight Josh Warrington. Josh Warrington is a hell of a fighter, undefeated, one of the top guys with Gary Russell at 126, even at 130. They both can move up to 130 and be right at the top of the food chain, both of them, right? With the rest of the guys, right? I think that Josh Warrington probably beats Burchell. I think that I don't know. I think that Josh Warrington, he has a great chance to beat Burchell. I think he beats who's Burchell fighting next? The kid that Burchell is fighting next. God damn, what is his name? What is the kid's name that Burchell is fighting next? I seen him fight live like 2 times already too. I don't know why I can't think of his name. Well, anyway, I think Josh Warrington beats him. You know, then we got Tank Davis. I think that Gary Russell and Tank Davis is a great fight. So basically, you know, them guys are top. Josh Warrington and Gary Russell at 126 or 130. They top guys. So another part of me, like I said, is like, why not? Why not go out? Yeah, Oscar Valdez, right? I think Josh Warrington beats Oscar Valdez. So another part of me, right, is like, why not go out there and beat Josh Warrington? Josh Warrington has a huge name in the UK. You can steal his fans in the UK. And then, you know, you become unified champion at 126. And, you know, you give your name some big buzz. Because that's a fight that all boxing fans are going to want to see. Josh Warrington against Gary Russell Jr. That's a hell of a fight. And we've been waiting for one of those fights with Gary Russell like that for a long time. You know, I know he did fight Jojo Diaz, and Jojo Diaz is a hell of a fighter. But Jojo Diaz didn't really have a big name like that, especially at that time. He went and fought King Tug, right? Numbayar, he's a hell of a fighter too. Olympic silver medalist, but he ain't had no name like that, right? So Josh Warrington, he does have a name like that, right? So, you know, sometimes you got to say, look, man, I know they lowballing me, but let me go out here and beat his ass just to, you know, boost my name. Just to boost my name. Because obviously these other guys, they don't want to fight me. These other cats, they not fighting me. So, you know, let me make some power moves, you know, just to boost my name. But at the end of the day, you know, I can't get mad at Gary because it is called prize fighting. And if you know what you worth, you know that you've been making more than 1 mil, right? You've been making more than 1 mil fighting much lesser competition. So why are you going to pay me 1 mil in a unification bout? Why would you try to pay me 1 mil in a unification bout that I have to go over to this man's, right? I got to go to this man's motherfucking backyard and fight him in a unification bout when I've been champion for longer than him for shit 2 times longer than he has. You know, I'm the longest reigning WBC champion in boxing, but I got to bow down to him. So on the other hand, I get it. I get it. You know, I feel Gary Russell on that. But, you know, how do y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel about that whole situation? Do y'all think that Gary should have just said fuck it and took the $1 million, even though it was a low ball to him, and you know went over there and beat Josh Warrington's ass? Or do y'all feel that, you know, hey, you know, it's about the principle. You're not gonna lowball me. How y'all feel about that situation? I want to know. And I'm gonna try to find the. Like I said, I might open up the phone lines too, and I want to try to find. Let me try to find this phone number. Here it is. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna open up the phone line for y'all too shortly. LeVar Cooper says Gary Russell should have negotiated for more money. Yeah, I don't know if he did or if he tried to. I don't know if it was just like that was the final offer. He didn't really get into it that much, you know. But yeah, LeVar, you got a point. If they try, and I don't really think he did try to negotiate, because he said that all he said about the situation is that Eddie Hearn sent him an offer, right? He said Eddie Hearn sent him an offer via Instagram and offered him $1 million to come over and you know, fight Josh Warrington. So he didn't really say that they got into negotiations. He just made it sound like that he looked at that shit and was like, man, fuck that. You ain't finna lowball me, and moved on. So you do got a good point, LeVar Cooper. Why not? Why not? You know what I'm saying? Let Eddie Hearn know, like, look, you know, that's a lowball, dog. You know what I'm saying? We can sit down and we can come to a number, but I'm not fighting him for $1 million. But we can negotiate. Why not do that? But Gary Russell, he's still calling out the big names. He said, you know, he also talked about his mandatory, right? Ray Vargas. And I'll get into that too. Bumpy Thompson says, I think Gary Russell should fight Leo Santa Cruz in the unification WBC and WBL. I don't think. Yeah, is Leo Santa Cruz still champion at 126? I guess he is. Hanky Stanky for Leo don't want to fight Gary. And Gary, and I think Gary passed that whole Leo Santa Cruz shit. Like Gary, he ain't even mentioning Leo Santa Cruz name no more. I think he's sick and tired of trying to chase Leo Santa Cruz. Y'all gotta understand, Gary Russell been chasing Leo Santa Cruz since he turned professional, since they came out the amateur rank. You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, this man ain't gonna fucking fight me. I've been chasing this dude for 6+ years, and I still ain't got no fight with him. You feel me? Let me see what y'all. Maurice Isaac say Gary should have took the fight. I'm tired of hearing Gary complain. Mike Rhymes says, I'm fighting any man for $1 million. But you not a professional. You can't look at it as a standpoint as you. You know what I'm saying? You're not a professional prize fighter. You ain't never, you know, I don't know if you'd have made $1 million or not in your life. So don't let me say that. But, you know, that's their profession. You see what I'm saying? That's their profession. That's just like if you, whatever your profession is, and they try to pay you and they tell you, you know what I'm saying, we're going to give you your paycheck, but we're going to short you, you know, we're going to short you $1,500. You ain't finna go for that. You know what you've been getting paid. John Applegate, what's good with it? Robert Davis says, Mr. Gary Russell wants Crawford. LeVar says, Leo still having nightmares from Tank fight. Real talk. Eric in the building. Eric Dombrowski, he says, yeah, no shit. Gary been calling Leo Santa Cruz out for years after years. Now he done with that noise. Yeah, he done with that shit. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. It's like, man, I'm gonna keep bullying this dude for nothing. It ain't getting me nowhere. Robert Davis says not against Devin Haney. Mike Rhymes says a fight is a fight, professional or not. Nah, it's not. It's not. You know what I'm saying? These dudes are motherfucking prize fighters. You can't tell nobody in their profession what they're gonna make. Like I said, nobody tell you, no, Mike Rhyme, nobody comes to your job or your profession or whatever you do and tell you, okay, this is what you gonna make. I don't give a fuck what you've been making, you gonna take it. Nobody does that. You can't, you don't want nobody coming to wherever you do, whatever you do in life and tell you what money you gonna make and you gonna take it and that's it. We're not gonna do that. Hanky Stanky 420 OG says Gary needs a fight. I would have probably watched him for that meal. Yeah, that's I'm like I'm back and forth. Like, should he just had went over there and just said fuck it, you know, because I can't get none of these other names to fight me, or you know, should he stand on his square and say, look, I've been making way more than that. I know what I'm worth, and I'm not doing that, because y'all gotta understand. That's a unification bout, right? 2 belts on the line. And he got to go over to the UK. So it's like, why would you even send me a fucking offer for a meal and you know I've been making way more than that? Kyron Johnson, that's real talk. Like you said, a meal ain't even a meal after all the deductions. Like I said, after everything's said and done, you know what I'm saying? He be lucky to come out with 600,000. That guy says, be interesting to see what the fuck is in line for Gary and Leo if they don't fight. It's that fucking time for both, really. That ain't gonna happen. Like, Leo Santa Cruz ain't gonna fight him. Sir Lou the God, especially after he just took an L to Tank. Leo Santa Cruz, he want to get back in the win column. He ain't fighting Gary. Sir Lou the God says only reason Eddie made that BS offer is because he was willing to take it for Devin. I think it was I think for Devin it was like 1.5 or something like that. But yeah, around that. LeVar Cooper says, didn't Gary take $450,000 for Lomo? Well, you gotta understand. You talking about some shit before Gary was a champion. You talking about some shit years and years ago. You talking about that fight was years ago. You talking about a fight that was like 6 or 7 years ago. Picasso, salute. So also Gary Russell, he talked about how, you know, he got a mandatory. He got a mandatory that he might have to face, right? In Ray Vargas. Ray Vargas is undefeated. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so Ray Vargas is undefeated. I think Ray Vargas got a record of, I think he's 30-something and let me pull it up real quick. Hold on. Let me pull up Ray Vargas's record. I know he's like 30-something and 0. So if y'all not familiar with who Ray Vargas is, I'm gonna show y'all who he is. That's Ray Vargas. He's the champion, right? Ray Vargas is the champion at 122. He is, let me see. Ray Vargas is 34-0, right? Ray Vargas is 34-0, and he is moving up in weight to 126 pounds, and he is Gary Russell's mandatory. Now, Ray Vargas looks like that he wants that Gary Russell fight. From what I know, you know, looks like that he is a mandatory, and they talking about him moving up and fighting Gary Russell. Now, Gary Russell said that he really not interested in fighting Ray Vargas. He said Ray Vargas doesn't do nothing for him. He says the name Ray Vargas on his resume don't really do shit for him. I think it's a good. I think Ray Vargas is a good fight for him because I think Gary Russell beat the shit out of him. But he's 34-0. He's 34-0. He is a unified champion at 122. And that is a good fight. But he says that Ray Vargas don't do nothing for him. He said he don't really want to fight Ray Vargas because that fight don't do nothing for him on his But he also says that if that's who he got to fight, because he got to fight the next best opponent, that's who he'll fight. He said he'll do that. He'll fight Ray Vargas, beat his ass, and then, hopefully he can move up, because then he, move up to 130 if that's what it's going to have to be. Because he said, none of those guys at 130 that he's calling out want to fight him, right? Right? He said none of those guys at 130 or 135, none of those big hitters want to fight him. So he still has an obligation to hold on to his belt at 126, right? Just so he can have some leverage that, okay, well, I still am, a champion, a WBC champion at 126. Because, see, this is how it works. If he drops the belt at 126 without having a big fight on the line at 130 or 135 already pretty much secured, if he just dropped the belt, when he moves up to 130, right, the next weight class, he don't have no leverage, right? But if he has a belt at 126, he could say, I'm a champion at 126. I'm coming up from 126. I had a belt. Now, I could go right into a title. I get a title shot right off at 130. You feel me? I get a title shot right off at 130. So what he's saying is if he got to fight Ray Vargas because that's his mandatory, he'll do it just to hold on to his title, but he really ain't feeling no Ray Vargas fight. Now, he also was asked, who does he want to fight? Who is his top 3 opponents? And he said Gervonta Tank Davis for one. He wants Tank Davis more than anybody. He says because anybody with common sense know that it'd be a big fight. He said anybody with common sense know that it'd be a big ass fight. He says that fight will do big numbers. Now, he did say some shit I don't agree with. He says that if you put Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford on, right, the same day as you put Gary Russell and Tank Davis on, right, same day, different times or same time, he said he guaranteed that him and Tank Davis will do bigger numbers than Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. That shit I had to disagree with. You know what I'm saying? That I had to disagree with. But, with that being said, Gary Russell and Tank Davis that's a big ass fight. Because in the DMV area, that shit is going to sell out ×2, right? And so that's the first opponent that he want on his, next if he could. He steady calling out Tank Davis. He been calling out Tank Davis for years. It ain't no reason that fight shouldn't happen. And we're going to get more into that, later on, right? We're going to get more into that later on, right? Also, he says next on his list would be Vasil Lomachenko. And he called out Vasil Lomachenko. He said, hey, what's up? If you want to get back and try to redeem yourself again with your last loss against Teofimo Lopez, won't you come see me? Won't you come see me, Vasil Lomachenko? So he called out Vasil Lomachenko, and then he said Devin Haney. He said he ain't forgot about Devin Haney. He still wants to fight with Devin Haney and Terrence Crawford. He still wants those fights. So and for everybody that said he was capping and he don't want to fight Devin Haney, he's still calling Devin Haney's name. He still wants to fight Devin Haney. So it was a lot of circumstances surrounding that whole shit with Bill Haney, Devin Haney, and Gary Russell. And my man Batman was involved. It was a lot of shit that wasn't right that was surrounding that whole issue. And we can't put all of that shit on Gary Russell. It wasn't all on Gary Russell. you know. Robert Davis says Gary Russell's hand speed will make it very uncomfortable for anyone. John Kramer in the building. What's good? He says, tell Gary to stop smoking that shit that he's smoking. I don't know. What is he smoking? Nico Silvio said, hell no, about the Spence and Gary Russell and you must be talking about Gary Russell saying that him and Tank Davis is a bigger fight than Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Yeah, I wouldn't. That ain't, you know what I'm saying? That's not, nah. I don't believe that one bit. But it is a big fight. So Gary Russell, he's still calling out these guys, you know. He's still calling out these guys. And he did still say that he would like to go up to 147 just to see if he can do it. Now, when he talked about going up to 147, he didn't mention Terrence Crawford. You know, he just said that's still something that he would like to do just to test himself, to see if he could, you know, go up to 147. But he didn't mention going up there and fighting Terrence Crawford. He just said that's something that he still got, you know, that he wants to do. You know what I'm saying? So you can't fault the man for wanting to be great. But at the end of the day, you know, you gotta make a move. You gotta make some move. You dig what I'm saying? You gotta make a move, Gary. You know, at the end of the day, you gotta, if these guys that you calling out not fighting you, not wanting to fight you, right? And you got somebody like Josh Warrington, which they lowballing you, they only offering you a motherfucking $1 million. I don't know. Maybe sometime you might have to take that low ball and whoop his ass, right? Because all of the greats, right? All of the greats that really made power moves in boxing, Floyd Mayweather did it. Roy Jones then did it. You know, Holyfield did it. All of the greats at some point in their career, they took a low ball just to go beat your ass, right? To get their name out there and get it buzzing, right? They took a low ball just to, you know, just because, you know, they knew in the long run it would help them out. So, we know Gary Russell is not young in his career. He's been a champion once again. He's been the champion for damn near 6 years, right? For 6 years. He's been champion for 6 years, right? So, with that being said, he's not young in his career no more. So, Gary Russell also has to look at it like this, right? He got to look at it like this, right? Is me taking this 1 million, beating Josh Warrington, is that going to boost my name right now at this point in my career? So, you know, it's a lot of ways you got to look at that shit. You know what I'm talking about? Larry Foster, what's good in the building? And shout out to Elite Boxing in South Kakalaki. Shout out to that Elite Boxing in South Kakalaki. That Thompson Elite Boxing. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It is what it is, but I want to see Gary in the ring against the best. You know, I want these dudes to stop acting like Gary ain't shit and ducking him. But, you know, he know what it is. And he talked about, you know, him fighting Tank. He says that he doesn't think that Tank Davis's team wants that fight. He ain't really say Tank was ducking him, right? Personally. He said he don't think that Floyd Mayweather, he said Floyd Mayweather and Leonard Ellaby want that fight for Tank Davis. He said because they think that he is too much of a risk for Tank Davis at this point in his career, right? He says that they really believe that Tank Davis is the next big star that can make them a lot of money. And he said that he believed they don't want to risk putting him in the ring with Gary Russell, right? And taking the L, you know, and by how they moving. And you know what? Tank Davis is a hell of a fighter. He ain't no hoe. Tank Davis ain't no hoe, but I got to agree with him. I got to agree with him on when it comes to, you know, how Leonard Ellaby and how Floyd Mayweather is trying to move him, right? But, you know, I got to agree with that, right? But, you know, man, I don't know. I wish the best for Gary Russell. We just got to sit back and wait and see what his next move is. What is Gary Russell's next move? Because he running out of moves. His next move got to be his best move. His next move got to be his best move. If Ray Vargas in a unification, okay, cool. You know, we understand that's your unification. And Ray Vargas is 41-0. I mean, 34-0. Or 36-0, one of the two, 34-0, I believe. So it is what it is. Now, let's move on. Let's get into Jermall Charlo, right? Let's get into Jermall Hitman Charlo and David Benavidez once again. Let's get into Jermall Charlo and David Benavidez. And I'm gonna let y'all hear. What Jermall Charlo, what he had to say, right? So David Benavidez, he been on Jermall Charlo helmet. You know, the past couple weeks, he been calling out Jermall Charlo real heavy. And David Benavidez, he got a fight coming up with Ronald Ellis. I believe it's in April. Jermall Charlo, he don't really got nothing on the table right now. But David Benavidez is like, hey, let's get it on. Don't duck me. Don't make no excuses. I'm on your motherfucking head. Let's fight in September. And Jermall Charlo, you know, he has some things to say to David Benavidez before recently. He said he'll knock his ass out. You know, and he said he'll move up to 168 because Jermall Charlo said that he gonna be stronger at 168 anyway, because Jermall Charlo has to, like, for him to get to 160, I don't know how he do it. Jermall Charlo is a big ass fucking boy. Jermall Charlo big. Now, it's been a lot of talks going on, right? From the recent comments that Jermall Charlo made about the David Benavidez fight. And a lot of people think that Jermall Charlo is ducking David Benavidez, right? Because he came out real strong on David Benavidez. And then when David Benavidez started putting that real pressure on, a lot of people feel like that Jermall Charlo changed up his tune. And we're going to talk about that. I want to let y'all hear, for y'all that haven't heard what Jermall Charlo just said, right, recently. I'm going to play the audio, and I'm going to let y'all hear what he recently said. And then I'm probably going to open up the phone lines, and we can talk about it, right? I'm going to open up the phone lines, and we can talk about it. Before I play this audio, right, hit the like button. Press the like button. And I fuck with lines only, heavy. Everybody know I fuck with Jermall and Jermell, but we gonna talk about it. And let's see, is he trying to duck, or is he just talking? But I'm gonna play the audio and hit my like button. Let me see. Here it is right here. Hold on.
Fight me, dog. They want to fight me. That's a little boy. You're these like grown ass men, bro. So I'm like 23, 24. David Benavidez about 23, 24. I don't hit with some shit he ain't never been hit before. Y'all motherfuckers retarded. We hit with some shit that you say. Y'all remember the shit happened with Newber? Motherfucker too young, too dumb. They run right into that shit. Snap his motherfucking neck. Like I'm trying to kill him, like. Right, that's their podcast stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could be my son. I can raise your ass. What you talking about? Stupid. You don't learn a lot of that, right? Nah, it's just like they're kids, bro. I'm not fighting nobody under 25, and I'm not fighting nobody that don't take the COVID vaccination. If you don't get the vaccination, I'm not fighting you. You have to get vaccinated for me to fight you. What you think? That's gonna take boxing up? Boxing already watered down. So y'all want me to be watered down, broke, and sick? Hell no. Y'all gotta take the vaccination. Get vaccinated. Have it on paper. Move in the room. Huh? No, you want to. You right? I mean, I got that check. I still got that check right now. I want to see the I'm gonna fight the corona off. This nigga crazy. I mean, you don't know what that shit gonna do to you. Man, Jimmy brother didn't catch that shit. Yeah, Jimmy brother didn't catch that shit. Plus he got the NBA doctors. We don't like fluid.
So, you heard what Jermall Charlo said, right? He came in strong. He was like, I'll break his fucking neck. I'll knock him the fuck out. Then he was kind of like, I ain't fighting nobody under 25. You know what I'm saying? I'm not fighting nobody under 25. And I'm not fighting nobody unless they get a vaccination. Now, let me touch on the vaccine. And I'm going to open up the phone lines because I want to hear what y'all got to say about this shit. Let me touch on that vaccination. All that vaccination shit, I ain't feeling that. Because you can't tell nobody what to do with their fucking body. A lot of people not feeling that vaccination bullshit, and I'm one of them. How you going to say, oh, I'm not going to fight you unless you get vaccinated? What type of shit is that? I don't know if he's just talking, you know what I'm saying? Because it sounds like that he was with his, he was with his family, in his, personal space, with his people, with his homeboys, and they just talking, right? But it's like, if you serious, first of all, I ain't feeling that whole vaccination shit, right? You can't tell nobody, oh, well, I'm not going to fight you unless you get vaccinated. Because a lot of people don't believe in that. You can't, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't believe in that getting vaccinated. So I wouldn't feel in that. Now, him saying that I'm not fighting nobody, under 25, right? We all know because before he said that, he was like, ain't David Benavidez like 22, 23 or something, right? Then he said he ain't fighting nobody under 25. Well, David Benavidez, he is 24. I think he'll be 25 in December. But did y'all, how do y'all feel about that? Do y'all feel like that he's starting to make it, that now that David Benavidez is putting on that real pressure, he's starting to make excuses, even amongst his people, to why he's not going to fight David Benavidez? Or do you think he was just talking? He was just talking shit. I'm going to get through some of y'all. And Cassandra Mason, what's going on with you, Queen? I'm going to get through some of the comments real quick. And then I'm going to open up the phone lines. I'm going to open up the phone lines because I really want to hear what y'all got to say about this. They making the fights too complicated to make, Larry Foster say. Yeah, this 2021 be becoming some real bullshit. John Applegate said Charlo ducking. Picasso said Gary want Lomo, T.O. not doing rematches. Robert Davis, Benavidez will beat him, so Charlo don't want none. Patricia Shelton in the building. What's going on with you, Queen? Bumpy Thompson. Let me see. And y'all smash the like button. Yeah. Loco, let me see. Be that bitch says talking. So let's go ahead and open up the phone lines, right? Let me open up the phone lines and we're gonna get into it. Hold on. Let me put the phone. I'm gonna put the phone number up so everybody could call in right now. Let me see. There it is. The phone lines is now open. The phone lines is now open. Now go ahead and call in. Call in and give me your take on this. Call in and give me your take on this. Cassandra Mason says, Robert Davis said, we appreciate, man. I appreciate y'all. For coming in and supporting every day. Cassandra Mason says, no vaccine under 25. Come on, Charlo. I'm not feeling that. I hope he was just talking ish. Like I said, call in and let's talk about it. The numbers on the screen. The number is on the screen, and call in and let's talk about it. The phone line is open now. Nico Silvio, I'll be in I'll be there. I'll be in Flint next week, man. Yeah, I'll be out there in Flint next week. Put the number in the chat. Hold on, I'll put the number in the chat. Hold on. Okay, there's the number. I pinned it in the chat. It's in the chat. So, like I said, y'all call in and let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. Okay. Yeah. All right, Nick. Yeah, Nick. Yeah, DM me, man. Like I said, DM me. Hit me on Instagram. It's Mr. _ everything boxing. I think it's, let me see what I don't really be on Instagram like that, but it's, hold on. My Instagram is Mr. _ everything _ boxing. Yeah, Mr. _ everything _ boxing. Yeah, so yeah, hit me. Hit me, and I'll bring my nephews and shit to you to get a cut too. Cause shit, usually when I go, man, they be having me. Cause I be cutting. I don't cut hair as a profession, but I could cut. I'm clean with the clippers. So they be having all the little young, all the little young bucks, man. They be having me lined up. I be getting tired. I'm gonna send them to you. I'll send them your way. But yeah, like I said, if y'all want to call in. The numbers in the chat, the numbers on the screen. But yeah, as far as me, I don't know. It's hard for me to say that Charlo is ducking. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to say that Charlo ducking, you know what I'm saying? Because Charlo and his brother, they talk a lot. They at point in times, I don't know if they be drinking. I'm not gonna say that. Hold on. I don't know if they be drinking. I don't know what it is, you know what I'm saying? And if you called in, I think I missed the call. You call back in. I missed you, call back in. Here he is. What's going on with it, caller? Where you calling from? What's your name? What's happening with who this again?
It's John, man.
Okay, what's good with it, John? John Kramer off in the building. Oh man, just what's your thoughts on this whole Charlo situation? You think he ducking? Hold on, man. Let me try to put you on speaker. Hold on. Okay, can y'all hear him?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you better now. Now, so what's your whole take on this?
Some of them ain't ducking for sure. None of them boys are protect, right? You know, he just capping a little bit like a young boy. He just capping, you know, because he on the top, undefeated. You know what I'm saying? How it is, man. Get money.
So you think he just with his people just chopping it up, just talking? You think he just talking?
Yeah, he just flexing.
Yeah.
He just flexing. I think Charlo will beat the Benavidez too.
Hey.
Just a simple fact, man. You know, he just got to come down. Coming up on it. You know what I'm saying? He barely can make it 168 days. His last fight, he didn't lose 2 days.
Nah, he missed weight. Yeah, he missed weight his last fight. Yeah. So man, John, I appreciate you calling in. I think we had another caller. I'm gonna get to the next caller, but appreciate you calling in. So John said he's just talking. He said he don't believe Charlo ducking nothing. You still there? Okay. Yes, sir. Hold on. We got another caller. Caller, what's good with you? State your name and where you calling from. What's good with you? Shout out to that Dallas.
Already. You know, like the man caller just said, like, I didn't like too much what he, you know, how he put it. You know what I mean? But I do want to, you know, he changed my original statement I was gonna come in and say. You know, I was looking at it, man. I do think like Charlo he probably would just capping, man. Like you said, trying to flex. You know, I think Charlo gonna make that fight. If Charlo don't make that fight, you know what I mean? You know, we know that the fight is getting made by what month is this? At least by March. You know what I'm saying? Then he cap, bro. You know, then it's gonna change my feelings about Charlo a whole lot, right?
Right.
I think he's gonna make that fight, man. I think that's the fight Charlo needs. Cause after Charlo beat Benavidez, ain't no more who he fought, what he done, this and that. The winner of that fight, automatically fuck Plant. You know, Plant cool, I like him, but automatically, the winner of that fight deserves a Canelo fight. Cause he fuck both of the boys, like, here's my language in the channel too, bro. But he did both of the boys, man. Charlo and Benavidez. The winner of that fight deserves a Canelo fight, man. Immediately.
Right. And can't nobody really argue that. You know what I'm saying? If they fight, the winner of that fight deserve I'm gonna say Canelo or Plant, because I ain't gonna just sweep Plant under the rug like that. But see, Benavidez is talking about fighting in September. You know what I'm saying? Let's fight in September. And the reason he's saying September is because Benavidez got a fight coming up in April, right? That'll give, if they fight in September, that'll give him his chance to have his fight in April, and that'll give Charlo his chance to have a fight in between. You see what I'm saying? Then they could get together in April. So you feel that he just talking, he ain't ducking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna call it a duck right now, bro. I'm gonna give it like, you know, so like earlier this morning, bro. You know what I mean? See, them other boys doing what the fuck they want to do.
Right.
You know, Canelo out here fighting his farm farmer, ain't nobody saying nothing about it. And you got Triple G out here fighting the ice cream man, ain't nobody saying nothing about it. You know what I'm talking about? You got Bud mess around. We don't know who he gonna fight next. You know what I mean? Man, Pacquiao just dropped his belt because basically ain't nobody calling him up. Ain't nobody, not even, you know, and not even a lot of people in the LWC talking about it. Pacquiao just dropped.
Yeah, you know, I got on his head. You know, over here on Everything Boxing, I got on this motherfucking head.
You know how we be on a lot of other boxing and stuff. We kind of getting the old man pass, though. He ain't getting strong, though. He got punch on. He ain't walking like no black eyes and he ain't getting good. You You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
We got fun shows, but not like how we did a lot of other
I did a whole show. I did a whole couple shows and got on this motherfucking helmet. And I still got them Asian cats and them Manny Pacquiao lovers off in my comment sections and under the videos. They still comment. Yeah, but
I think I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt this one. You know,
right.
You know what I'm talking about? Until March. But until March, if they ain't talking about this year, you blue blood and somebody in the LGBTC dropping info about this man making the fight with this dude, man. Charlo, man, hey, man, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt my feelings, bro. It's gonna hurt my feelings because I fuck with them Charlos, man. Both of them. A lot of people don't like Jermell because of his attitude. I like that shit. You know what I'm saying? I like that he was super aggressive and shit like that. And he ready to take flight on anything. Yeah, he pop off with the list sometimes. You know what I'm saying? When he shouldn't. You know what I mean? But you don't want your face. Who wants the same fight to become soft? Who butt ass nigga, man? You know what I'm saying? You want to be that animal in him. You know what I mean? Come on, bro.
Right.
Man, put all this feminizing and softening up these black boxes and these mean and stuff, man. But, you know, I try to shoot them for all that extra and all. No, we don't need that over here. We got killers and gangsters and come on, man. I seen how he, you know, I seen that little interview they did with Jerry Russell on the TV over there. Well, he made his hot off the run and when he was big with D-Man. So, I mean, come on, bro. You ain't for the all this last minute. Charlo, you know, pull your call that, man. The fight on me, the fight should have been made. It been all that.
Right.
You gotta go to gangster and shit and the street shit. Make the fight for me. It shouldn't have to be all that, man. We brothers at the end of the day, money together. Shouldn't be talking about no street shit and even testing a nigga gangster. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I can test that man gangster, man. Come on, bro. You don't have to do that, man. Y'all can't get in the ring.
Right.
Test each other. You know what I mean? Come on, ain't no dick legends. You don't need to do all the dick legends and shit, man. Everybody fucking the same club. Come on, man. Oh, yeah, it's a little crazy, man. I don't know what's up, man. Boxers like this, these just, I don't know if it's the money or it gotta be social media, man, because these boxers today, they is not like. A lot of them is not like the old time, bro. We can't just get a fight and these niggas have some controversy and talk shit and then make a fight happen. All this is riding our feet. That's riding our feet shit with big shit. That's some soft ass shit, man. That shit was soft, man. And I was trying to root around my feet for the Latinos and shit like this. But that's some soft shit. It's gonna be some more soft shit. Who got some fight Earl? That's gonna be some soft shit, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah, man, I feel you, man. So it's yeah, for sure. Appreciate you for calling in. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's like, so this is how I feel about the whole situation. You know, and he had a good point. And he feel kind of like how I feel about it. You know, it's like I'm gonna give Charlo the benefit of the doubt because he don't have no history of ducking nobody. You feel me? He don't got no history of ducking nobody. Where money at? You say somebody say money in here. Oh, here go money. Money, what's good? Let me see. I'm gonna shoot you the link right now, money. I ain't even see him in the building. If Sheena hadn't said nothing, I ain't even see you in the comments. Hold on. But this how I feel about it, right? Let me send my brother Money this link out. Cause I know he got a lot to say about this shit. So I sent you the link, Money. So this how I feel about the situation. You dig? I'm gonna give Charlo the benefit of the doubt because Charlo don't have no history of ducking no smoke ever, right? He don't have no history of ever ducking no smoke. But this is the thing, right? If just like my man said, if we get down to like March or May, April, you know, and we not talking about them in discussion making this fight, right? And we hearing like, oh, you know, Charlo, Charlo ain't won the fight or this and this. And then now that's when I'm gonna get on your head, right? Because even though he was with his people and he was talking amongst his people, I didn't like how he went about that. Now, I'm not saying that he ducking at all. So don't twist my words, because Charlo ain't never ducked no smoke. But I didn't like how he went about it, right? When you want to fight somebody, you're not gonna make no type of excuses why you not gonna fight them, right? Even if he was just talking, it shouldn't have been none of that, right? It should have just been like, I'm gonna beat this motherfucker's ass. I'm gonna holler at Al Heyman, right? Because we got the same advisor, and we gonna make this fucking shit happen. It ain't gonna be no talking, none of that shit. He didn't call me out. That's all I need to hear. I'm on his motherfucking head. Not that, oh, I ain't fighting nobody with no vaccine. I'm not fighting nobody unless they got a vaccine. I'm not fighting nobody that's under 25. And I understand he could have just been talking. But why even say all of that, right? Why even put that out there? You know what I'm saying? Why even put that out there at all? It ain't no need for none of that. It wasn't no need to put none of that out there. So now, right, now that you did that, right, that you came like that, now you got everybody looking at you now. Now we looking at you. Now we like, okay, you ain't never ducked nobody, Jermall, and we fuck with you, but what's your next move? What is your next move now? Tank in the building, the Sweet Science Examiner. What's good with you, Big Tank? You know, now we all looking like, what is your next move? Because if this fight don't happen, you open up the floodgates, right? If this fight don't happen, you open up the flood. And G Mays, I understand that he was just being sarcastic. But like I said, G Mays, when there's pressure on you and somebody's calling you out, you don't need to let people talk about, like, it wasn't no need to say none of that, right? Because now that you said that, even though I don't believe that you ducking him, I don't believe you're gonna duck him. But now that you said that, now all eyes are on you and the pressure's on you, right? Because if you don't fight him, right? If you don't fight him this year, now everybody's gonna look at it like, okay, well, the fight didn't happen because of Jermall Charlo. That's the fight didn't happen because, and then they're gonna go back to that shit that you said. And now that shit that you said, that we trying to figure out if you just talking, if you just over exaggerating, if you just, you know, just shooting the shit like we say, right? We try to figure that out now. Now we gonna go back to that and be like, well, back when, you know, back in February, when he talked about it, this is what he said. So this is why the fight ain't happening. So why even say that, right? Why even say that? Because it was good with it, big money. Money.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's good with you, man? How you feeling?
Chilling.
You in here late, but you getting in right. You right on time for the smoke, because we finna really get into it.
I had been told you, I said, when you asked me the first time, I said that bitch didn't go through. When you first said it, yeah. I was so wait, I wasn't doing shit, but I'm like, damn, this thing gonna send a link.
Nah, I didn't even see you in the chat until Shayna had shouted you out.
My baby Shayna, look, got my back. I see.
Yeah, she got your back, man. Hey, so Tank saying you 100% correct, Keon. That will be the narrative because of what Jermall said in this social media sound by Era Fam. Yeah, that's real. So right. So it's like this, right? If say Money, right? If say Money called me out to a debate, right? And I say, you know, and I'm like, yeah, I'll fuck him up. Come on. And then like, okay, and then he say, okay, well, you know, make it on Saturday. And then he start really putting pressure. Don't forget, we gonna debate. Don't forget. And then I come out and I'm like, shit, yeah, you know what I'm saying? How many motherfuckers he didn't debated? Oh, he only debated 5. I'm not even gonna entertain nobody that have under 10 debates under their record, right? For it, and how many people he got on his, how many subscribers he got? Why would I even entertain him? Why am I gonna do that? And then I start, just talking shit. I might just be talking shit to talk shit, but then I'm putting it out there, like making excuses to where if I don't debate him, you see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that Jermall is ducking because he ain't never ducked no smoke. But once you start putting it out there, like, okay, well, if I decide not, because what it is kind of like, to a lot of people, it looked like he's doing this. If I decide not to fight him, this could be some of the reasons, right? Because people gonna look at it like that. Why not just say, look, you know what I'm saying? Fuck him. I'm gonna whoop his young ass. He used my name. I'm gonna whoop his young ass, and that's it. All we got to do now is call Al Heyman and set it up. But he wasn't really saying that. Like he came strong, like motherfucking Lawrence Taylor coming downhill, like an NFL linebacker coming downhill, right? With no blockers in front. He came strong, right? He came strong, right? And then he kind of started backing up because at first he's like, man, I'll break his motherfucking neck and I'll knock his motherfucking ass and then it was like, man, how old is he? Right? He was like 22, 23. Right, man, I'm not even fighting nobody under 25 years old from now. And he got to take a vaccine because I ain't so it's kind of like you put that on yourself. I fuck with Jermall heavy, but Jermall, like, it's you all over the place. You all over the place. Say some shit, stick to it, be strong on your point, stand on your square, and and let it be known. Because David Benavidez, he's coming one way, full speed ahead. He hasn't changed up his tune at all. So, I don't know. And Bumpy Thompson says that's also his third video about Benavidez that Maul did. Yeah, but you got to keep the same energy. You can't, don't let anybody see that you backpedaling, because like on Barbershop Conversations last night, right? I was watching Fred's show, and they had a field day with that shit, right? And and a whole lot of other channels had a field day on Jermall Charlo because of that. This is not what this is, right? I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. But I'm also saying is don't give people a chance to do what they doing. Like and shout out to Barbershop Conversation, but they had a field day last night on Fred's show on Jermall Charlo, right? They all were saying that he was ducking. They all said that, he backpedaling and acting soft all of a sudden. He talking a whole bunch of shit, but he backpedaling. And that's what if we Jermall Charlo fans, I'm a big fan of Jermall Charlo. I know Money fuck with Jermall Charlo. We all fans of Jermall Charlo. All I'm saying is don't give them that leverage. You know what I'm saying? Don't give everybody that leverage to use on you. So nobody can be mad if like me, I couldn't be mad when I was watching Fred's show last night, right? I wanted to be like, man, y'all taking this shit too far, right? I wanted to call in and be like, look, man, y'all taking this shit too far. Like, you know what I'm saying? The man was just fucking talking. But I couldn't be mad. I couldn't say that. And I couldn't be mad because he opened up the floodgates to that. You see what I'm saying? He opened up the floodgates to that. You dig? He did that on his own. So it's up to him to come clear that up now, right? So we can take up for him all we want to, but he has, he got to come on social media and he got to clear that up, because I'm pretty sure that he hearing the backlash, right? He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to say that. Nobody put those words in his mouth. You feel me? All he had to say is, look, I'm going to beat his motherfucking ass. It ain't nothing else to be said. You know what I'm saying? Don't duck me. I'm calling Al Let's get with Al. And if you can get past your next opponent, you know what I'm saying? If you keep your fucking nose clean, we're going to get this done. That's it. Ain't nothing else to talk about. G-May says, I get where you coming from, Keon. Real niggas got to call a spade for a spade. But when it happened, Maul going to knock David ass out. But see, this is the thing. And Money, and I'm going to give it to Money. Right? This is the thing. Right? And I'm going to give it over to Money and let him cook on this next, right? This is the thing, right? We would never be on here talking about none of this shit. And now you have to fight him. Now it's not, you feel me? Now that you said this, even if you had just kept quiet about the situation, we would have been like, damn, we ain't heard nothing from Jermall. Jermall ain't really said nothing. Maybe, you know, maybe Al Heyman told him that ain't the fight for him, or, you know. But now that you said that, you got to fight him next. Because now all eyes are on you now. All eyes are on you. If the fight don't happen, you know who they going to blame it on. And Sheena, I'm going to get to Sheena's comment, and then I'm going to go, and then I'm going to go to you, Money. Sheena says they will do something to require we all take it. Like showing proof we got the vaccine before we go to certain places. And what about the kids registering for school? Yeah, but you know, but that is probably gonna come, right? Especially in professional sports, but it's premature, you know. We talking about it's premature. So what's your take on this whole situation, Money? You on mute.
Yeah, I was kind of feeling how you was feeling too with that situation. Because at first I'm like, Mel, you know it's a good fucking fight, first of all, right? I really didn't agree with it. I'm not fighting anybody under the age of 25 because Benavidez has been whooping motherfuckers older than him since he's been in boxing. So I wasn't feeling that shit. You feel me? I don't like we all know Jermall ain't ducking. That's one thing we all do know. We all know that. We all can agree that Jermall ain't ducking no fucking Benavidez. But you do got to be held accountable for your words. You feel me? Because if it was somebody else to say that shit, we'll be on their ass. You know what I'm saying? I didn't agree with that shit, not 120%. And with the vaccination shit, bro, it's a lot of motherfuckers out here that's corona free, right? That's not gonna take that vaccination. I see what my love Sheena said. They gonna try to force us to get it. Well, guess what? We can hold our kids out of school if we want to. We can start doing homeschooling, right. But they can't force us to push shit in us that we don't want.
I'm doing homeschooling with my kids. If they do that, we're gonna have to do homeschooling.
Yeah, because the first thing is y'all don't even know the outcome of this fucking vaccination shit. We don't know what's going on, even though people taking them and shit, and we see motherfuckers like Bill Russell saying this is a shot that I won't block, and we seen this person taking it and all that. I just got to talking to my doctor. She took the shit. She trying to convince me to take it. I just agreed so I can get her ass off the phone saying, okay, yep, okay, I got you. I'm gonna take it. I'm not taking that shit. You know what I mean? It's like we don't know the severity of that shit. We really don't know. Shouts out to Malik Harper. His mama took it. Ice Mom. She said she feeling all right, but she said she had side effects at first. And then there was another person I knew that took it. He said he had some type of side effect shit, but it don't. Every side effect ain't gonna work the same on every individual. Some people might be allergic to some shit that you don't even know that you're allergic to, and you've been and took that shit, and you found yourself with a motherfucking heart attack or a stroke or a tongue swelling or any fucking thing can happen to you. So we're not really even knowing. Like they're not even educating us on the shit in the beginning. You want to read that first, Key?
Oh yeah. And shout out to David Williams in that super chat. He says Jermall said age was just a number when he said he would knock Floyd out, and then he wanted to fight Floyd.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
And this is what happens when you start saying shit like that. People gonna bring, you know what I'm saying? People got memories.
Yeah.
And when you say shit like that, then people gonna point out when you start to contradict yourself.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Money.
Right, because when you was under 25, look at all the motherfuckers you wanted to fight. So I really think he was just bullshit, but he just trying to play a big dog role. You know how it is with these motherfuckers and these egos they be having and shit. So it looked like he just trying to play a big dog. Oh, I ain't fighting no damn kid. That's a damn kid, man. You know how it is when they on that social media shit showing off. But if the opportunity presents itself, if you take your ass to 168 pounds, you entering David Benavidez world. He was already champion at 168 twice. So it don't matter what you're saying, Maul. Yes, you have been a champion at 54 and 60. You was never champion at 168. Benavidez has been champion there twice.
Hold on. David Hamilton says that was Jermell, not Jermall. Why would Jermell be talking about David Benavidez though?
That was Jermall, man.
That was Jermall. Why would Jermell be talking about something that don't have nothing to do with him?
Right. You probably saw the Jermell because the both of them went live that day. So you probably saw Jermell shit while other people was watching Jermall. We talking about Jermall and what he said about David Benavidez. So we know what we're talking about. So yeah, like I was saying, bro, Benavidez has been champion twice at that division. You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter what you're talking about, Charlo. When you go up, you're going to David Benavidez division, bro. You have to make your name at that division. And I do feel like you can beat Benavidez. I do. But Benavidez got a damn good shot of beating your ass as well. You feel me? I know people keep saying, oh, he gonna do this to Benavidez. Nah, Benavidez ain't no pushover. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. That ain't no pushover. That's a 50-50 fight. That's a 50-50 fight. Even with Maul being the oldest, that's a 50-50 fight, bro. You feel me? So you can't be making comments saying, oh, I'm not fighting this kid if he's under 25, and I'm not fighting if he don't get the vaccination. You fought plenty of motherfuckers that didn't have the vaccination already. You know what I'm saying? When you just fought in September, Corona was out. And you just fought Lomachenko. He ain't had no goddamn vaccination. So just because you went and got that shit and you feel safety and secure on what you did, people still get checked for Corona when they go fight your ass. And if you Corona free, you get the fight, regardless of what the hell you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So it's come down to this fight being one hell of a fight. It's a legacy fight. It's a fight that can put you in position. You and David Benavidez in position to get the winner of Canelo, Billy Joe, or the winner of Canelo and fucking Caleb Plant if they become undisputed. You see what I'm saying? So you can't just sit up here and be making all these accusations and all this shit, which, like I said, I know he bullshit. I know he's just talking shit. You know what I'm saying? Just talking shit, pulling the wool. I ain't gonna say pulling the wool up people's eyes, but just an ego trip because of who he is and what he's done in boxing. And your name ringing still. People want to admit the shit or not. The Charlo's names are ringing out in these fucking boxing streets. You know what I mean? So they hold some weight. So that's just motherfuckers flexing their little muscle and their little power, man, having an ego trip. But you know damn well, 85% of motherfucking boxing ain't gonna get that motherfucking vaccination. You probably the only motherfucker that got the vaccination in boxing, to be real, which I ain't seen another party come out yet saying I got the vaccination. You probably the only goddamn person in the sport of boxing that got the vaccination.
He's pushing that, and it's like he pushing it like they need to have you as a sponsor.
Right, bro. Right. So shit, just because you got that shit don't mean everybody else gotta get it. And I'm not knocking nobody who want to get the vaccination, or if you feel like it's what it is out here, I'm not knocking. Go ahead, it's your body. If you feel like it's helping you out or your family, man, do what you do. You feel me? But don't knock the motherfuckers who don't want to get the shit because of their own personal reason, or they don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't agree with what the fuck they trying to put in that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, they haven't educated us on nothing that's in there yet. My doctor, she broke some shit down to me. Got to talk about some shit that I ain't even understand at once upon a time. But you know, they ain't giving us no real, you know, information on what it do and what it this and what it affects and all that. They just telling us we need to get the shit. So I ain't falling into that shit with Jermall Charlo. It comes down to this, bro. You versus David Benavidez is one hell of a fight. Y'all going back and forth talking shit to each other. You said in one breath that you'll fight him, you'll end his career. Call Al, make this shit happen. That's where I need to stop at. Call Al, make it happen. I'm coming to 168. We're going to see what it is up there. We already know the big dogs, they ass with the titles. They already locked up. You know what I mean? Canelo finna fight fucking Billy Joe, so he not going to fuck the money up. Caleb Plant know if Canelo beat Billy Joe, he got to fight in September, so he not going to fuck the money up. So he not about to, you know, fight neither one of you motherfuckers. So now at 168, y'all are the two top dogs. Y'all are the two top cats right there that can make a fight happen. That's great for boxing. That's fucking great for boxing. So y'all need to get into that motherfucking ring, make it happen, and get off the bullshit, Charlo. Get off that exactly, Kurt. Get off that bullshit you know, the ego trip, all that shit. Because Benavidez is a 2-time world champion. You are a 2-division world champion. His name hold weight just like your name hold weight. Feel me? I know what Caleb Plant said about him and shit. Yeah, he lost his titles and things of that nature, and he do got to be held accountable for that. He do. You can't just they took his scrap, this and that. He got his scrap taken. It was on his ass. He got taken twice. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, I'm just a stupid motherfucker. So you got to blame yourself for that shit. But it don't take away from the kid being a hell of a fighter. It don't take away from that shit. It don't take away from us saying, oh man, Jermall Charlo versus David Benavidez is one of the motherfucking best fights you can make in boxing. It don't take away from that shit. And you're getting recognition to put your name on the map. And you gonna have a bunch of motherfucking Mexican fans out there that you can steal. You know what I mean? Whether they like you or they hate you, whether they want to see your next fight and see you get your ass whooped, or whether they say, boy, you went out there and beat Benavidez, somebody that we fuck with, so we gonna fuck with you. They still gonna watch your ass. So man, he gotta, like you say, he gotta be held accountable for his words. And when people start getting on your ass and start bringing out receipts and start saying, oh man, your ass, how much you don't want to fight him because of this and that, you ducking. However the internet want to carry your ass, you got to blame yourself for the words you put out there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Be mindful of what you say. You feel me? So at the end of the day, it's a great fucking fight. We all want to see it. It's a fight that'll be can carry any card on any day, right? And it's something that we can enjoy, bro. And it's a recognition fight and put your ass in position to fight for a world title at 168. So we ain't going for all that bullshit. Oh, he's under 25, and if he ain't got the vaccination, nope. You said you'll fight him. That's all that matters, bro. Your ass got to fight him.
And shout out to Kurt Anderson in that super chat. Kurt say Charlo better fight him. He don't have no choice, especially now that he said what he said. Money, he put his back up against the wall. You feel me? Yeah. And it's like, right. You look at the 160-pound division, right? Even if you go to 168, you don't have nobody else to fight you. We know that Triple G not gonna fight you. He said it. He been saying it. They've been saying it for years. First, his trainer came out and said it, and then Triple G came out himself after he fought Dinner Rolls and said he wouldn't go fight him. He wouldn't fight Jermall ever or Demetrius Andrade ever. He said it flat out. I'm not gonna fight those guys. It's other up and coming guys that people don't know about that need to get a chance. That's what he said. So you know that you're not gonna get no. Who else is out there? You know what I'm saying? Chris Eubanks. If you come out here and you fuck around and fight, because see, what David Benavidez did is smart, right? He said, let's fight in September, right? And he was smart because he let you know that, because see, what a lot of fighters do, right, is they'll put a date out there that they know is not possible. You know, in Jermall Charlo, right, we talked about this the other day. Money, he disagreed with me, but you know, and it wasn't that he disagreed with me because I was just putting I was asking a question. So it wasn't really nothing to disagree with, but Jermall Charlo had said, why don't we fight on Cinco de Mayo? Right? Why don't we fight in May? Right? And it's kind of like that was iffy that he said that, right? Because it's like, you know that Canelo already fighting on that weekend. You also got Ramirez versus Josh Taylor. That's a jam-packed weekend already. And me personally, you don't want to try to go head to head with, even though your fight, right, is better. Your fight with Benavidez is a better fight than a Canelo and Billy Joe Saunders, right? Even though that it's a better fight, neither one of y'all have near the popularity that Canelo do. That's just the real talk. So why would you try to go up against head to head with Canelo, right? That's not possible. Motherfucking Al Heyman wouldn't even let that happen. Al Heyman is a businessman. Why would Al Heyman make that fight? You know what I'm saying? Because that's just going to take money out of your pocket. You see what I'm saying? If you split the viewership up, that's going to take money. You need to have your own date. So why would you do that? You feel what I'm saying? So that was kind of like, to me, that was suspect for him to say some shit that he knew wasn't realistic himself, right? And then on top of that, you know that he already has a fight signed, sealed, and delivered with Ronald Ellis, right? Let's keep it real. He already has a fight signed, sealed, and delivered. Benavidez already has a fight in April. So he wouldn't be able to turn around and fight in May, the beginning of May. So that wasn't realistic. What Benavidez did is you got to feel what he did. He came with some real shit. Let's fight in September. That way, if you need to get a fight in between, you have plenty of time to get a fight in between. I take my fight that I have, and then we set the fight up in September. That's a realistic date. That's realistic for them to fight in September. So it's, you know, when you start looking at all this, right? When Jermall Charlo first said it, I spoke on it, right? But I ain't looked too much in it. I was like, well, maybe, you know, maybe he wasn't really thinking about Canelo and all that. But now it's like, man, you starting to say a whole bunch of shit that you know is not realistic, right? To make an excuse not to make that fight. Is that what you're doing? Because it's no reason for you to say, just like Money said, just like me and Money said, wasn't no reason for none of that. All you have to say is, you know, bam, we gonna set it up because there's nobody else that you can fight. The closest opponent that you can fight that's out there, right? Because let's think, Daniel Jacobs is not, he's over there with DAZN. How hard is that gonna be able to make? I think Daniel Jacobs still with DAZN. Am I correct? Money, you're on mute. Yeah, anyway.
Say it again. You say
Daniel Jacobs is still over there fighting on DAZN, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Daniel Jacobs is with DAZN. That's hard to make. You know that's a slim chance that you fight him next. Demetrius Andrade is on DAZN. We already know how that's been going. You know what I'm saying? We already know how the negotiations and the fake negotiations and all of that shit been going with that, right? So we know that ain't gonna happen. Chris Eubank is a possibility, but how many people really want to see you fight Chris Eubank? You feel what I'm saying? You can and see, this is the thing where he kind of fucked up, Money. Where David Benavidez really put pressure on him when he said that September, right? If it's right, when he put that September date out there, Money, what it did is it let everybody know, oh, you got plenty enough time to go ahead and get another fight in between them, because you can still fight if Chris Eubank is on the table, right? Say it's Chris, and I'm just using Chris Eubank, right? I don't know what Chris Eubank got planned. I think Chris Eubank got a fight coming up anyway. I think he finna fight Jaime Munguia. I don't know. I think he got a fight planned anyway, right? But anyway, let's just say it's Chris Eubank or whoever else at 160. He put that pressure on him because he's like, don't worry about it. We can fight in September. That way you don't got no excuses. Oh, well, we had this on the table, or oh, well, we got this in plans already. Nope. You got enough time to go ahead and make another fight in between. I'm a fight in between, and then we fight in September. And it ain't no excuses. It's no, well, my promoter. It's none of that. It's none of that going down. Ain't no my promoter. We all on the same side, right? We all on the same side. All we got to do is make the phone with all, and this is simple. So it ain't no Murata. Yeah, you're right. Chris Eubank is fighting Murata, right? And so this is why I really, really agree with Kurt and a lot of other people that say that he better fight him. It's no way out. It's no excuse that you don't fight him, because we know how Al Haymon works. All the fighters have said how Al Haymon works, right? Mm-hmm. If you on the same side of the street and he advised both of you, all you got to do is go to Al Haymon and say, hey, this is the fight we want. And Al Haymon gonna get it done. If you both want the fight, and we know that David Benavidez wants the fight because he's pouring on the pressure. So if we don't see this fight, I'm giving Jermall Charlo the benefit of the doubt because he's never ducked nobody. So if you ask me, I think that Jermall Charlo is gonna make this fight happen, right? But if we don't see the fight happen, I'm telling y'all right now, you will come on here. You will see me come on here, and I'm going to give Jermall Charlo the same energy that I give everybody that be out here on that bullshit. Right? It ain't no passes. Like I said, like you see on the thumbnail, it ain't no more soft touches. For none of these dudes, ain't no more soft touches. We want to see the best fight the best, and that's it. That's it. That's all. Before we go on to this next hot topic I want to get into, hey, we just starting to cook because we got a hot topic coming up next. Before we go on to this next hot topic I want to get into, you got anything else you want to say in closing on that, Money?
Nah, man, it's a great fucking fight, dog. Y'all talk that shit with each other. And my brother Jay Dixon say to play devil advocate, why call Charlo name if you can't fight him next? Knowing he's also gonna for Canelo. He called him because he could fight him next. That's why we're saying this. He can fight him next. They're not getting Canelo next. We living in a real world. Canelo already put his blueprint out there. He fit to fight Abner Urdream. Then he got Billy Joe. Then he won Caleb Plant in September. That's why he let him know we can make this shit happen. We can make it happen. So he called him because he could fight him next, not because he can't. But just to close out on that situation, bro, it's a great fucking fight, man. It's a great fucking fight. It's a legacy fight for both champion versus champion. Charlo, it puts your name instantly in the hat for a world title at 168. Instantly, you come up and beat a motherfucker David Benavidez. You know what I mean? A great fucking fight, dog, and we all will enjoy it. So make this shit happen, bro. Make it happen. If you ain't gonna fight Andrade, right? If you ain't gonna fight Andrade at 160, that's the next best fight for you at 168, dog. Make it happen, bro. Make this shit happen.
J.A. Dixon says Jermall gonna have to drop the belt at 160 to fight at 168. I doubt it. I doubt it. But see, this is the thing, right? Nobody was begging Jermall to come out and say that he wanted to move up to 168. He put that out in the air himself, right? He mentioned David Benavidez's name, right? He did all of that. So with that being said, we can't come on here and try to baby him. He said that. You know what I'm saying? He put his neck out there. He said that. So we just going off of the same energy that he put out there. He's the one that said that he wanted to move up to 168. Nobody was like, oh, Jermall needs to try. Jermall needs to do this. We weren't doing that because we know that the best fighters at 160 is ducking Jermall. Even Canelo at 168, he been ducking Jermall. So, you know, he did that. So we just going off of what he said.
Exactly. And for one, let me say this, and for one fight, bro, it don't necessarily mean you got to drop that scrap because he already gave him an opportunity to fight. If it's a mandatory in play or anything like that, that's why I said we can fight in September. And he alluded to that. You still got to fight to get out the way. You still can go fight somebody, then we can meet up at 168, bro. But even if you got to drop the scrap, it don't mean shit. It don't mean shit. Your name holds the weight. I ain't saying it's not good. Like, I'm not trying to take the legacy away from the world title, but shit, okay. You at 168 now. If you campaign at 168, that scrap ain't gonna mean shit no way. You feel me? So it's a great fucking fight, bro.
And salute to Knockout Boxing 86 TV. Y'all go subscribe to Knockout Boxing 86 TV, man. My man be cooking, man. He be cooking. Salute to you, man. And let me know if you ever want to get up here on the panel with me and Money, man. You're more than welcome. And Calvin Johnson, right? Calvin Johnson says, I'm like the general. He says, if he don't fight him, I don't care because everyone else is playing that cat and mouse game and getting away with it. No, see, this that's not what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I got my own mind, right? And I'm not gonna do like, oh well, everybody else doing it, so it's cool if Jermall do it. It's cool if whoever, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like this, right? I can't go out, right? And go smoke and go shoot somebody and kill them, and then say, well, shit. I mean, shit, OJ did it and he got away with it. Shit, I mean, why can't I? It don't work like that. You feel me? Because if we had that, if Calvin Johnson, if everybody thought like that, like, oh, well, it's cool because, well, everybody can say, well, it's cool. We don't never get no motherfucking fights.
Exactly.
Well, such and such, Canelo get, you know what I'm saying? Like, so everybody else should be able to do it. If everybody thought like that, we might as well just fucking throw boxing in the trash.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because then ain't nobody gonna get to see no fucking, just because them dudes is doing it, that don't mean you gotta stoop to their level.
Exactly.
Be homemade just like them. If a motherfucker acting like a hoe, right? If a motherfucker acting like a hoe, that's just like me, right? Okay, right? But I'm gonna make a perfect example, right? That whole ass nigga H Money, right? And I don't really never say nobody's name, but I'm gonna say his name, right? I ain't gonna use no fucking subliminals, right? He's a straight hoe, right? But he go on motherfucking, he be on Fred's channel and all of them fuck with him over there, right? They all fuck with him. They think he's fucking cool, like he's a clown. He's a straight clown, but they fuck with him. So does that mean, well, I'm gonna start acting like H Money and being a straight bitch out here because they fuck with him and he doing it and everybody like him? Nah, man, we not finna do that. You know what I'm saying?
All facts.
But I feel, huh?
Let me get this too, because I get what he's saying, like, but that's the thing, that's what sets you apart from other motherfuckers. Because we say, yeah, them niggas whole ass niggas, they don't want to fight, but we know the Charlos go fight, nigga. They ain't gonna duck no smoke. That's what set them apart. That what set Earl Spence apart. That what set certain fighters apart from the next person, bro. That's what set Deontay Wilder apart. You feel me? Anthony Joshua didn't want to give him a shot. So guess what? Now he in position. You know what? Fuck Anthony Joshua. I ain't gonna give this punk ass no shot. Or fuck Tyson Fury. I ain't giving them no shot. They ain't giving to me. Then when are we going to fucking get the best versus the best and to see who the top dogs is at this motherfucker? Because if that's the case, every motherfucker gonna be fighting these subpar ass niggas, holding on to a scrap or two, talking about, yeah, you know, I'm the king of the hill. These boys can't fuck with me. Yeah, them boys, they want to fight me then. You know, nah, fuck all that shit, man. Go out there and be the motherfucking king of the hill. All right, bitch ass nigga, you ain't want to give me the opportunity, but I'm hurt. I'm gonna give you the opportunity and I'm gonna whoop your ass to show you that I'm different. That's what sets you apart. You don't want to be in the same category as motherfuckers. You feel me? That's what's gonna kill the fucking sport. We trying to get that shit away from the sport so we can big it back up. But that's what's gonna kill the fucking sport. Because if you're looking forward to it, like he always say, if we're looking forward to a fight that we know you gonna whoop his ass, we know you gonna knock him out. We just waiting to see what round and what fashion. We know this motherfucker don't stand a chance. Oh, would you rather see them fights where we say, oh man, Key, I'm nervous than a motherfucker, bro. I'm on pants and needles, dog. Right. I don't know, man. Shit, I'm nervous, bro. You feel me? Those are the fights you want. So it ain't about what everybody else doing, bro. It's about what's right and what's wrong. Just because, you know what I'm saying, yeah, they do all that shit, it still don't make it right. You know what I mean? Like a nigga go tell me, well, if you go look at Muhammad Ali gloves back in the days, they glove was bending like Tyson Fury, or this person glove was bending like, I said, I don't give a fuck about that. Do it, make it right. It still don't make it right, motherfucker. Cheating is cheating, ducking is ducking, bro. You feel me? And that's what we got to get the fuck away from. Oh, because they did it, well, we gonna do it too. Nah, that's what's gonna make us look more of a man than your punk ass nigga, because we standing up apart from everybody. Yeah, you feel me? So that's the different situation, bro. You know what I mean? If this nigga sit over here and let a nigga whoop on a bitch and he just looking at and watch the man whoop her, you gonna stand there and say, oh, well, shit, guess what? He let that nigga whoop my ass. So I'm gonna just go, I'm gonna go over there and try to beat the fuck out of his ass. That was right. Set you apart, bro. You feel me? You don't want to be the same as everybody else, dog. No, we ain't rocking like that. But right. I respect everybody opinion. You know, I fuck with 78 heavy, but you know what I'm saying? I ain't a tick for tack ass nigga.
Yeah. And I understand what 78 was saying. Like, you know, shit, fuck it. If we ain't gonna get on, you know what I'm saying? If they don't get on them for doing it, well, shit, fuck it. I don't got nothing to say. But and I understand, but you know what I'm saying? At the same time, if we all did that with all of these fighters, we wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't do shit. None of them would want no smoke. None of them would want to fight nothing but Rudy Poos because they know they can get away with it. You gotta, and the reason why we fuck with Jermell Charlo and Jermall Charlo and Errol Spence and Deontay Wilder and you know a lot of other fighters, right? Is because they don't move like no hoes. They set themselves apart from the rest of the crowd that is moving like bitches. So, you know, that's what it is. Knockout Boxing 86 TV says, appreciate the invite. If you're going live tomorrow, I'd like to join the. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. We got you.
And y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to my brother, man. Knockout Boxing 86 TV, man, dropping videos back to back every day. I try to support as much as I can, man. I shared your videos on YouTube and things of that nature, bro, to try to get you up there, man. We're going to get you up there, chap. Keep pushing, keep grinding, man, and you'll see your channel grow. Make sure you drop your link in the chat, though, Knockout Boxing. Drop your link.
Yeah, drop the link in the chat. My man be cooking. Like, for real, when I say he be cooked, man, money, he sent me he told me the other night, he like, you know, him and Knockout was on, was, you know, money go on at, what, 7
p.m. Central Time.
7 Central, money go on at 7 Central every night, right?
8.
And so the other night, he like, you know, come on the panel, you know, me and Knockout cooking. And it was, the show had already started. And I said, man, I'm chilling, dog. Like, I'm watching y'all cook. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even want to go over there and interrupt the shit because they was over there cooking for real. And I was enjoying sitting back, just listening and watching. So yeah, drop your link in the chat. And so anyway, let's move on, man.
Let's move on. And let me say this one thing, last thing. Zenit 360. We not bashing our own fucking kind. We not bashing, bro. We're not bashing. So when you say, oh, we not, I mean trashing. I'm not trash. It's not trashing, champ. It's just you being held accountable for your words, bro. That's it.
And this is boxing. This is a combat sport. Like, come on. This ain't no, just like my man that called in earlier. Man, we sick of all this soft ass shit. This is an alpha male sport. This is fucking boxing. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers is gladiators. Like, all of that soft shit, nah, man. We need to take it back to how it was when we came up watching shit. You know, all that soft shit we need to weed all of that soft shit out of the sport.
Right, bro. That's what make us different, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's what set us apart. You want to set yourself apart from the crowd, not go with the crowd, bro. That's why what Key just said, we fuck with the Charlo because that's how they rock. They willing to fight anybody, anytime, anywhere, bro. Keep that same motherfucking mentality that you came into the game, that you built your fan base off of, bro. Don't switch it up because of the next motherfucker. Yeah, we know Canelo get away with a lot of shit. We know this fighter get away with a lot of shit. They, you know, they got their little people that get them little soft touches and shit like that, but that ain't what you want, man. Y'all want to be known for that shit. You feel me? Fuck
right.
it, bro.
Right.
Let's move on.
So let's get into it, money. Let's get into it. So, man, I'm watching Ellie Setback. I'm watching Calvin Ford, right? Gervonta Davis's trainer, Tank Davis's trainer, Calvin Ford, right? He was on he was on Ellie Setback. And he had a lot to say, man. He had a lot to say, right? I am Ill Will in the building. What's good with it? Salute. Right.
Salute, Ill Will, brother.
He had a lot to say. And he said, this is what he said, right? He said that you know, he was asked about, you know, Gervonta Tank Davis and, you know, his next opponents, because we obviously know that Ryan Garcia pulled the okie doke on him, right? Bullshitted him, and that fight most likely ain't gonna happen next, right?
Yeah.
That fight most likely ain't gonna happen next. So, and it's crazy because Ellie Setback usually don't do this. You know, Ellie Setback usually don't ask boxing related questions. You know what I'm saying? He'll ask about your motherfucking jewelry, what you got on, or anything besides boxing related questions usually. But, you know, shout out to Ellie, man. Shout out to Ellie. But Ellie was really asking some good questions. And he asked, you know, Calvin, like, you know, what do him and Gervonta Tank Davis got planned next? Who do they, you know, who do they want to fight? And he immediately said Teofimo Lopez, right? He said, we want Teofimo Lopez next. That's a big fight. You know, Teofimo got all of the belts, and we want Teofimo Lopez next now, right? Now that the Ryan Garcia fight is off the table, we want to go and fight Teofimo Lopez next. That's the fight that we want. All the belts on the line, right? And I was like, that's real. Like, we would all love to see that. Like, you can't, when he say that, right? That's what him and Tank want next, right? When you say that, that's real. Like, that's a big fight. That's fire. That's smoke right there. But it's like that fight is how possible is that fight next, right? Because we already see that they talking about George Kambosos Jr., right? George Kambosos Jr. is next. That's what Teofimo Lopez and them is saying. Now, could they say fuck George Kambosos Jr. if we gonna go ahead and make a fight with Tank Davis? They could. Also, do Leonard Ellaby and Floyd Mayweather, do they want a Teofimo Lopez fight next? I doubt it. I highly doubt it, because if Floyd Mayweather and Leonard Ellaby wanted to fight Teofimo Lopez next, Bob Arum, they've been and put the word out there. You would have heard something, right? So we know what Tank Davis and Calvin Ford, we know what they talking. Well, not even Tank Davis really ain't said nothing about Teo, but we know what his trainer's talking, right? And his trainer really want that smoke with Teofimo. He was adamant about it, right? But how realistic is that, right? So you have to have other options. You got to have other options, right? In case that doesn't fall through next, which it's the chance of him fighting Teofimo next is very slim, very, very slim, right? Because you got Leonard Ellaby and you got Floyd Mayweather. They don't want to put Tank Davis in the ring with tough competition like that. And I'm not just saying that shit because it don't have nothing. I'm not saying it because it has anything to do with Tank. I'm saying it because how they move. You can see how they move with Tank, right? For whatever reason it may be. But you have to have a backup plan. You got other fighters out here. So Ellie Setback asked him, he said, so, what about Devin Haney? What about, Devin Haney and Tank? That's a great fight, ain't it? And Calvin Ford was like, nah, we don't want to fight Devin Haney. Devin Haney ain't, he doesn't do nothing for us. He ain't on that. His name ain't big enough. He ain't got a big enough name for us. He don't do nothing for us. And I'm like, okay. All right, let's see where I'm like, Devin Haney is the WBC champ at 135. So I'm kind of, like, okay, let's see where he's going with this, right? Then Ellie Setback say, okay, well, what about what he asked him? He was like, what about Gary Russell? And he says, why would we fight Gary Russell? Gary Russell don't do nothing for us. Gary Russell, and so Ellie Setback was like, wouldn't that fight be a huge fight in the DMV area, wouldn't it? He was like, no, that fight's not a big fight at all. Nobody would want to see that. No, the Gary Russell don't do nothing for us. And I'm like, everybody knows that if you and Gary Russell fight, that's going to be a huge fight, right? It's only a few other fighters out there that Tank can fight that'll be bigger than Gary Russell in the DMV area if you make that fight. That's a huge fight. So I'm like, now I sure ain't feeling what you're saying, because now you brushed off Devin Haney and you brushed off Gary Russell, and you basically said the same thing, in different words for both of them, right? And then old boy said, well, Vasyl Lomachenko is looking to come back. That's a fight that everybody's been wanting to see for years and years. What about Tank and Vasyl Lomachenko? And he said, nah, we don't want to fight Vasyl Lomachenko, right? Vasyl Lomachenko, he gotta come back and beat somebody before we get in the ring with him. He gotta redeem himself from his last fight before we get in the ring with him. We don't want that fight. So I'm like, the fuck? Like, and then I'm hearing rumors of Tank Davis and Abner Mares, right? And I know that Calvin Ford, I'm hearing that Calvin Ford, he don't want that Abner Mares fight neither. I don't know if the Abner Mares rumors are true. But if so, right? If so, you've turned down Devin Haney. You didn't turn down Gary Russell. You've turned down Vasyl Lomachenko, right? And then we know, and then they talked about Shakur Stevenson, and he said that he had spoke to Shakur and Tank, and he said, like, y'all been friends since y'all were little. Don't let these people get y'all, you know, into talking shit to each other, wanting to fight each other. He said, because they're friends. And he said, I told them, you know, y'all will eventually fight well later down the line. But right now, you know what I'm saying? Don't let people, lure you into talking about fighting each other. Pretty much was what he's saying, right? Because they're friends. So that fight is not on the table. So basically, everybody would want to see fight Tank Davis, you saying that no, like that it's not, because you can't just say, well, we want Teofimo Lopez because that is a huge fight. That's a great fight. But you can't just say that and then say all of these other dudes ain't worthy. Because if you now what you're doing, if you come out here and you fight anybody else, right? That if and I'm saying Tank, and I'm using Tank because that's his trainer, and we know that Tank is influenced by what his trainer, what Floyd Mayweather, and what Leonard Ellerbe do, and what they say, right? So you can't just say no to Gervonta, no to Lomachenko, no to Devin Haney, and no to Gary Russell. Now you backing him up against a wall, because if you go and fight an Abner Mares, if you go and fight, you know, somebody else that has a much lesser name, a much weaker resume, now we're gonna be looking at it as like, how are you saying no to them? But then you put him in a ring with him, and he's nowhere near the fighter that they are, or has nowhere near the resume that they do, or whatever it may be. Because now you putting him up against a wall when you saying that, when you just wiping everybody off the board, right? If you can't make a fight with Teofimo Lopez next, and he go in there and fight a fucking Rudy Poop, or somebody that don't have no big name, and you had these other guys that was all mentioned, and you just threw them in the fucking trash can, right? I wasn't feeling that, because see, that's the problem. That makes Tank Davis look bad. You see what I'm saying? And I've always said that Tank is a motherfucking, he's an animal, right? But the way that they moving them and they making them look like a bitch. They making them look like a bitch. And then, you know, when he talks, when he gets to talk, he'll repeat the shit that they didn't say. A lot of that shit is put in his head, because of course, you know, he talks, he gets advice from them outside of the ring. So when he gets on camera, he's repeating the shit that they didn't told him. And that's not a good look, because that's not a good look, because you can't, all these guys that I named, they top guys. So you can't knock all of them down and say that they garbage and they not selling it, because like I told Money the other day, right? If boxing is coming to who has the most Instagram followers, it's done already. That's it. It's done. Right? Zenith 360 says Tank Ellerbe and executives from Showtime all dismissed Mares rumors. Yeah, like I said, I didn't even go into the Mares shit, because I said I don't know if that shit's true at all. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? People put rumors, but Mares, they don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, dismiss all of that Mares shit, right? You, like I said, if you go and fight a Rudy Poop or a less name, a guy with a lesser name than Devin Haney, Lomachenko, Gary Russell, right? And it's a dude that we don't really know too much about, or it's a dude that we know is a soft touch, and you just shit on them, now it's making you look even worse. So while I don't know why Calvin would say some shit like that, because I felt what he was saying about Teofimo Lopez. He's like, we want all the belts. If we gonna fight, we want Teofimo Lopez. And I agree with him 150%. but you have to have a backup plan because that is probably not going to happen next. So your backup plan, you got all these other guys, you know, it would have even made more sense and sounded better if he had been like, look, those guys, you know, those guys are good names too, you know, but we're gonna try to see what we can do with Teofimo Lopez. And then if that don't work out, then we can see what we do with these other names that y'all calling out because they all good fights. But he just completely threw them in the trash. Like, nah, we don't want to fight none of them. We don't want to fight none of them. That's not gonna happen. So I wasn't feeling that. So I'm gonna let me read some of these comments and then I'm gonna get to you, Money. And shout out to my man,
Scotty,
right off in the building. He says, salute everything boxing and sports for the QOS boxing talk. He says, shout out to Money Brown in chat. He says, keep that hot topics and cooking. And Scotty, I'm finna call you, man. I'm gonna call you when I get off of this live, because I got some things to ask you, but it's some shit that's gonna stay between me and you. But yeah, I gotta call you. I got a couple of things I want to ask you, man. Scotty, hey, when I say Scotty be off in the building, go subscribe to World Combat Sports and go check out Scotty live. Drop the live if you could drop the live chat. I mean the live that Scotty did. And I'm gonna send it to you, right? Because I can't. Well, matter of fact, I'm gonna drop it in the chat. I'm gonna drop the chat that Live did a chat with Tay Jones, right? And Tank Davis just sparred a young buck that's 18-0. He a beast. Tank Davis sparred him, right? Just this week. And Scotty was in the building. Scotty saw the whole sparring. And check out the live. They break it. They talk about the shit. And that shit was fire. And I'm gonna put the live in the chat. And while I'm doing that, let me see. Knockout Boxing 86 says Tank need to take control of his career and say who he want to fight. That's what I'm talking about. He need to come out and like, yeah, that's what they want from me. But hey, this is the smoke I want. Knockout Boxing 86 says that's crazy. Gary Russell versus Tank is the biggest fight at 130 that could happen in 2021. So someone named he says someone named one of the bigger. Yeah, that's it, and it showed one of them, if not the biggest. Aaron Jones says, is it true that Tank sold out in Baltimore by himself? Gary never sold out DMV, so why that be a big fight? Because you just said it. It's like the man Aaron Jones. You just said Tank sold out Baltimore by himself, right? You just said that. Now, are you going to try to tell me that Tank Davis and Gary Russell couldn't sell out? You contradicting what you're saying. You said that Tank Davis sold out Baltimore by himself. Now, you said Gary never sold out the DMV, so why would that be a big fight if it's going to be Tank fan base only? So you telling me that Gary Russell don't have a fan base in the DMV? And if Tank can sell out the DMV by himself, if Tank can sell out that area by himself, fighting a Mexican guy that nobody knows, right? You said that. He sold out that area fighting a guy that nobody knows. So are you trying to tell me that it wouldn't be a big fight if he fought Gary Russell? Make that make sense to me. Please.
Right. Aaron Jones been talking a lot of shit going down the stretch. I've been reading him though, but I want to talk to his ass a little bit because I ride for Tank.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, but when you sit up here and I'm with Key on the situation, he never said Tank was afraid of nobody. So when you say niggas saying Tank scared of these niggas, that shit be funny. Nobody said Tank is afraid of shit, bro. So y'all make it seem like it's going to be a super fight. Bro, Gervonta Tank Davis versus Gary Russell Jr. is a fucking super fight. And I'm on record saying that I'm okay with him fighting Leo Santa Cruz, but I'm getting them motherfuckers ass that was saying they don't want to see him fight Leo, but want to see him fight Gary. But don't sit up here and dismiss Gary Russell, bro. Like Gary and Tank ain't a good fucking fight, bro. That shit will be numbers. It will do numbers. It will do numbers. We're not gonna follow this notion as, oh, you know what, Gary ain't doing this and Gary ain't doing it. Man, if you put Gary on with Gervonta Davis, that shit gonna be on fire, bro. It's gonna be on fire. You saying, oh, I wouldn't dare let a nigga eat off my plate that disrespect me. It ain't the point about somebody disrespecting you. It's the point about it's a business sense, and you put all that motherfucking emotional ass shit to the side. I don't give a fuck about what you say, but I'm gonna beat your motherfucking ass in the ring, and guess what? I'm gonna eat off of you as well. I'm gonna make money off you as well. Because Gary Russell and Gervonta Davis will do numbers on pay-per-view, dog. That shit will do numbers on pay-per-view. So we can't sit up here and make it like, oh, if he go fight him and if he go fight Devin, if he fight Devin, that shit will do numbers on pay-per-view. That's a fact. You can't deny that shit. You understand what I'm saying? You can't deny it until the shit get made and the shit start getting promoted. It's all about how you promote the fucking fight to see if that bitch is gonna do numbers. You feel me? So yeah, I'm want to say tell him to move up as well. I'm want to say that shit as well. I'd rather take 120%, but I'm not gonna sit up here and discredit no fucking Gary Russell and no Devin Haney.
Let me just hop in here real quick. So if y'all see in the chat, I posted the link, right? I posted the link to my man World Combat Sports Scotty White channel. And that the link that I posted, right? The link that I posted is where they talking about how they was in the gym with Tank Davis and man, what's his name? In hold up, with Tank Davis and Brian Norman, that's 18 and over, 15 KOs. They sparring, right? They was in the building and they talking about what, you know, kind of how it went down. They was in, just go check out the video and subscribe to World Combat Sports. Now go ahead, Money.
Yeah, now I'm gonna say this. Now, yes, we know Teofimo is the big fight at 135. We know Ryan Garcia is a big fight at 135. But like we said, the same shit about Terrence Bud Crawford and the same shit we were saying about motherfucking Canelo Alvarez. I mean, Earl Spence and Canelo Alvarez. They not the only fucking big names at the motherfucking division. Tank, to me, you the biggest name at the division. Tank is the biggest name at 130. From 140 on down, there's no name to me that's bigger than Gervonta Davis. Right? From 140 on down, there's no name that's bigger than Tank. So, like Keon said, if you can go put if you can put asses in the seats with a Mexican that don't nobody know, right? If you can put asses in the seats with a motherfucking Gamboa that's been, you know, off that level, you telling me you're not gonna put asses in the seats with a Devin Haney and a motherfucking Gary Russell Jr. Miss me with the bullshit. I don't give a fuck about people being in their feelings, talking about, oh, Gary called him a bitch. Gary say he'll do this to Floyd, he'll do it. Well, that should be even more of motivation of get that motherfucker in the ring so I can beat his ass and we gonna see who the bitch is. You know what I'm saying? We gonna see who the bitch is. But you can't sit up here and make it like it ain't still ain't good business with them, dog, because it is good business. I ain't finna sit up here and say that shit ain't no good business because it is, bro. And that shit will sell out the DMV. You gotta be crazy to say that it won't sell out the DMV. Gary Russell Jr., you feel me? And fucking Gervonta Tank Davis. You understand what I'm saying? The black dollar is fucking everything, dog. It's everything. And the black dollar is gonna press that motherfucking button. As much as people think, oh, motherfuckers want to stream this, not man, motherfuckers gonna press that button. You understand what I'm saying? And guess who gonna be tuned in? Mexicans, whites, every motherfucker gonna be tuned in. They gonna see that shit, how that motherfucking press conference is hyped up. Mayweather there, they talking shit to each other. It's gonna be that caliber of fight, bro. It's going to be that caliber of fight where we know that it's a real fucking fight. I mean, animosity sell. Everybody know that shit. So we ain't finna sit up here and play these type of motherfucking games, bro. Now, I don't agree with Coach Calvin, and I'm gonna try to get Coach Calvin ass on the show so we can talk about him saying that you know, they don't do nothing for Tank because they do a lot for Tank. You put Gary Russell and fucking Devin Haney name on his resume, that does fucking wonders for Gervonta.
Don't forget Vasil Lomachenko.
Yeah, even Vasil Lomachenko, that shit does, them names does great for Tank motherfucking resume, dog. Great. So we ain't trying to sit up here and hear that shit. Now, who you want next? Okay, I rocks with you. And I appreciate Coach saying that we don't want no motherfucking Alvin Morales next because we don't. At the time they were trying to make it happen, I understood it. But right now, we don't want that shit. You can't take no steps back now, bro. You can't take no steps back. You know what I'm saying? You got to go forward, bro. You 26 for to be 27. You got to go fucking forward with your career, dog. You got to start putting these type of caliber names in the ring with you, bro. You got to. You want to build that fucking resume up? You want to really become a pay-per-view star? You want to really make 20 million, 30 million, 40 million motherfucking dollars? Start putting these type of names in the ring with you. At this age, you got star power, dog.
And let me cut in real quick, Money. I don't mean to interrupt you. Because I see everybody is, right? See, people like to take one thing, what you say, and then they like to just go off of that. Because everybody in the comments right now is Gary. I said Vasil Lomachenko and I said Devin Haney.
Devin Haney.
Gary Russell is not the only name that I mentioned. So why is everybody trying to go, well, Gary needs to, because see what they do. See, this is the thing, right? What you're doing is you trying to pick the fighter that I said, right? That's easiest for you to make excuses for, right? So now you could be like, oh, well, why he should fight Gary, because Gary this and Gary that, Gary this and Gary. I talked about the rest of the fighters just as much as I did Gary Russell. Gary Russell wasn't the only name I talked about. You dig what I said? Why y'all are not in the comments with the same energy about Devin Haney or about Vasil Lomachenko, right? The whole point I was making is you got all of these other fighters that he was asked about, and he threw them in the trash. He didn't just ask about Gary Russell. Devin Haney too. Devin Haney is a world champion, WBC champion. Vasil Lomachenko is still a huge name. Was just pound for pound number one. So let's say let's take Devin Haney and Gary Russell off the table, right? And I'm gonna let you keep going. My bad, right? And say Vasil Lomachenko, right? Vasil Lomachenko just fought the guy that that your coach is saying that he want to fight for you, right? Teofimo Lopez. What if you went out there and knocked out Vasil Lomachenko? Go ahead, Money.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, bro, fuck that. At the end of the day, you know, it's good fucking fights, bro. Be quiet, boy. At the end of the day, it's good fights, bro. So like we not sitting up here saying, I see people saying, oh, who has Gary fought? He need to fight more. No, Jay, this and no, he don't. Gary Russell name is Gary Russell name. It ain't the point. My man say we need to tell Earl to fight Bud. Don't worry about no, it's not about saying don't worry about all the hard work you put in, because we know Tank is gonna get the fucking lion's share of the money. We know that. He deserved to get the higher percentage. We know that. But you got to make the shit happen first. And I'm with you. Gary do got to move up. I've been saying that shit, Ern. He got to move up. You got to make us believe that shit. It got to be true. Move up. Drop that fucking title. Move up. Come to his division and talk that shit still. But even with that being said, we still not gonna dismiss him like they ain't no good fights, bro. Because those are good fucking fights. There are good fucking names, and there are like those names put weight on motherfucking Tank resume in his career, dog. Period, point blank. Period. I'm one of the motherfucking biggest Gervonta Davis advocates out here, dog. But I ain't gonna sit up here and say I don't want to see Tank versus Gary. I don't want to see Tank versus Devin. I don't want to see Tank versus Lomachenko. I want to prove motherfuckers wrong. I want to prove to people that Tank is better than them motherfuckers. He is better than them. But those names that you need to get to that level, that you want to get to, those are going to be the names you need, bro. Because the names that you beat, you feel me, you get credit for. But now, like I say, the blueprint was to build him up, make him a pay-per-view star, make him a world champion. Now he's a world champion. Now he's a pay-per-view star. He's at the right age, right? He's at the right age where you can call 21, 22, and 23-year-old kids, right? That means you're a full-grown man now. You're at the right age. And it's time for your ass to start putting that caliber of work in, bro. It is. It's time for those type of fights now. You feel me? Especially if you're talking about going on fucking pay-per-view, you want to continue your pay-per-view run. Look at Earl Spence. Take a page out of Earl book. Look at the caliber of fighters Earl's been fighting. Look at the caliber of fighters he's been fighting, bro. And look at the motherfucking feedback he's been getting. Look at the numbers he's been doing. See what I'm saying? So man, you gotta miss us with all the like all the fillers and all that shit, and motherfuckers talking about, oh, he said this and he said, okay, all right, motherfuckers gonna say a lot of shit, dog. Motherfuckers gonna call you a bitch, they gonna talk about you this and that, but that's because you're in a great fucking position. And they want to be in that position as well. But they still don't dismiss who the fuck they is and what they done in this boxing game, right? Because people can still say, oh, I want to see this person fight this person. You can still look at a fight and be like, well, that's one bad motherfucker. He got talent. That motherfucker fight his ass off, bro. And I just wonder what it'd be if he get into the ring with this dude, how that fight will play out. You understand what I'm saying? So let's not be on no bullshit, man. Let's get off the bullshit, dog. For real. Let's get off the bullshit. Let's get off of this. You thinking the motherfucker trying to down a motherfucker, or we don't know, because we know exactly what the fuck going on. Ain't nobody stupid in this game, but everybody see what's going on. We know how you build a fighter. We know how you try to do certain shit. We know if you're trying to milk a fighter. We know if you're trying to milk the fans. We know all this shit, bro. So get off the bullshit like motherfuckers trying to down somebody, because that ain't the game, bro. That ain't the game. It's a certain time where you got to start fight. The certain caliber of fighters and the motherfuckers that make super fights, especially if you want to be the big dog in the motherfucking streets, dog. Period, bro. So Lomachenko, Devin Haney, motherfucking Gary Russell, if are excellent names. If you can't get Teofimo and Ryan Garcia, and it don't look like you finna get Teofimo, nor look like you finna get Ryan Garcia. So what the fuck is the next move? Because like my man Knockout said, if it ain't gonna be one of them champions at 130, it does look like they all motherfucking lined up and fighting somebody. Ain't nothing wrong with viewing your motherfucking options with Gary Russell, right? Devin Haney and motherfucking Lomachenko, and even like I said, JoJo Diaz there. It's fights out there, bro. It's fights out there that you got to make happen. So we just got to wait and see what they sign on the dotted line because we don't know what's going to be next. We don't know what's next. But we're going to tell you the shit that we don't want to see, and we're not going to let you sit up here and shit on fighters that are good fucking names that can be possibly, you know what I'm saying, great fucking fights for Tank right now or in the future, bro. Period. And I want to say this too about when he said about Shakur. Nobody's trying to force Shakur and Tank to fight. Nobody is. I haven't seen nobody really shitting on them things of that nature. Shakur, the one that came out his own mouth and said Gervonta Davis is going to be my biggest fight down the line. I feel like that's the big fight for me. I feel like that's the motherfucker that's on that level. When I look at a fight, I can say that's on that level. That's going to be my big fight down the line, bro. You feel me? That's the fight. I mean, that's what Shakur Stevenson said. And when Shakur opened up his mouth and say that shit, it leave the door open for people to say, what Shakur and Gervonta Davis fight look like, bro. So it's just a lot of shit that be going on. And I fought with Coach Calvin, interviewed him twice, 3 times. So talk to him, cool ass dude. But yeah, we got to agree to disagree on that one, Coach. That's a totally a disagreement with me, bro. So go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, man, it's like you putting pressure on Tank by saying shit like that because you know if you got you got fans, you got 2 different type of fans. You got fans that don't really know boxing. They know a certain fighter, right? And they just follow that one certain fighter, right? I know people like that. I know people that don't know shit about boxing, but they might be a Canelo fan or they're
I agree with that, Aaron Jones. I agree. And I ain't saying that you emotional, bro. I'm just saying in general, child. But go ahead, keep my bad.
You know, they might be a Canelo fan, or they might be a Errol Spence fan, or they might be, you know, they only know Deontay Wilder or whoever it may be. They just a fan of a certain fighter, but they not a fan of boxing. So we got the people that are fans of just certain fighters, but they not really a boxing fan. So right when the topic like this comes up, and it involves a fighter that they like, they don't hear nothing. All they hear is, oh, I need to take up for this fighter. That's all they hear, right? And I'm a fan of boxing, right? So with that being said, I know what's been going on. And so all I'm saying is that you can't say that, oh, none of these other guys, and then if he turns around and you put him in the ring with a fucking, you know what I'm saying, a goddamn Liam or somebody, now we're going to be looking at that shit and we're going to be like, hold on. You said you only wanted big fights. You said those other guys didn't have a big enough name, but then you came and you want us to watch this shit with a name that don't even compare to those other guys that you shitted on, a name that's 10 times less than what those guys hold. That's not going to make sense, right? Will that make sense if they put him in the ring with a name, right, that don't hold near the weight that the rest of the guys that he shit on hold? Is that gonna make any sense, Money?
Hell no, at all.
Yeah. So that's all we saying is you can't. Now that you said that, you can't do that. So who are you gonna put him in the ring with next? Let me pull up the rankings, right? Because I'm not sitting there saying that the only acceptable opponent is Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Vasil Lomachenko or Gary Russell. Those are the only. I'm not saying those are the only acceptable names to put him in the ring with, right? But those are the names that actually are next to being as big as the Teofimo Lopez fight, right? because you said he the one that said that he's going off of who has the name in big fights and big competition, right? So let's look, man. Let's look at 135 and one in the 130 division. Let me see. Let me pull it up, man. Let's pull it up and see who Tank could possibly get in the ring with next, right? If all of those guys that he said is a no, he blew them off, he threw them in the trash can. If it's a no with all of them, who he gonna get in the ring with next? Now I want to look at the division. Let me see. It's crazy when you pull up the division, they still got pictures of Floyd Mayweather up and shit. Like, man, the hell? Oh, okay, here we go. Let me see. Boxing scene. I'll just pull up. That's the easiest one to pull up. Let me see. Let's go to first. We're gonna go to 130. You got Miguel Burchell. That's not possible. Shakur Stevenson. We already talked that he don't want Shakur to fight. We got O'Shaquie Foster. That's a good fight, but he don't have no, let's just keep it 100. He don't have no name for them. They not finna put him in the ring with no O'Shaquie Foster because he don't have no name like that. Right. You got Leo Santa Cruz. He already fought him. You got M. Yakubov. Okay, so say if they come and put him in the ring with M. Yakubov because he's ranked number 5. Nobody know who the fuck he is. See, that's the, and I'm gonna use him as an example, right? You come and put him in the ring with an M. Yakubov, right? Yakubov or whatever, however the fuck you say his name. And y'all looking crazy right now. I can't see y'all, but I know y'all looking crazy because you don't know who that is, right? And you come and make a fight between him and Tank, right? Nobody knows who that is. He don't have no name, but then you threw Gary Russell, Devin Haney, Vasil Lomachenko, you threw all them in the trash and said they weren't worthy of a fight with Tank Davis because they wasn't on that level yet. They didn't have a name like that yet. So you see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this? Now you can't do that because you already shit on everybody else, right? Rene Alvarado, he don't have no name like that, right? You can't. I don't want to see you put him in the ring with Rene Alvarado, even though he's ranked number 7. His name don't compare to Devin Haney or Gary Russell or fucking Vasil Lomachenko. You can't do that. You got Tevin Farmer. Now, you could put him in the ring with Tevin Farmer. That's a good fight. That's a big fight because of the history, right? It flamed out a little bit, but he talked about that and he said that shit is not interesting no more. He said the Tevin Farmer ain't interesting no more because it didn't happen back when it was hot. So that's off the table, right? And the rest of these names I'm not even gonna name because y'all not, the majority of fans are not gonna be familiar with them, right? It's crazy that they don't even have. Yeah, okay. So now, wait, that was just the WBC, okay? So that was the WBC. So I guess they got it separated by sanctioning bodies. Now you got Chris Colbert. You got primetime Chris Colbert. You can put him in the ring with Primetime. Primetime, he's gaining notoriety. He has a name. That's a good fight, right? So Primetime, you got. Let me see. The rest of these guys, I would waste my time if I go down and name them because they don't have no big name like that at all, right? Then you got in the IBF, you got Joseph Diaz. That's a good fight. He don't have no name nowhere near compared to Devin Haney or he don't, he got a name, but that's a good fight. You could put it, I'll accept if they put him in the ring with Joseph Diaz. Would you accept that money?
Hell yeah, Jojo Diaz.
Yeah.
Champion, bro.
I'll accept that. He and like Money said, he's a champion, the IBF champ. You can accept that, right? The rest of these dudes, Martin Ward, Zelfa Barrett, like, so if you go in there and put him with somebody like Zelfa Barrett or Martin Ward, we're not going to accept that. That's what I'm saying, because we don't know who they are. I might know who they are. Money might know, but the majority of boxing fans don't know who these dudes are. The rest of them, I'm not even going to name them because I'll be wasting my time, right? Then in the WBO, you got this is the top ranked side. You got Jermell Herring, Shakur Stevenson, Oscar Valdez. We know all of those. Carl Frampton. All of those guys are tied up. You got Jeremiah Nicalthea, or however you say it. Don't nobody know who that is. And the rest of them, like I said, those are the names you got. You know, now, so it's only a few. It's only a few. Then we go to 135. We go to 135. You got Teofimo Lopez, of course. You got Devin Haney, Vasil Lomachenko, but they already thrown in the trash. They not worthy already. You got Javier Fortuna. That's a cool fight, but Javier Fortuna don't have no name like that. But it's a good fight. It's good competition. So I think that we'll accept that if you put him in the ring with Javier Fortuna. But yeah. You know, but that's what I'm saying. When you say shit like what he said, right, it makes it very hard, because anybody you come back with, if their name ain't on the level of a Devin Haney, of a Vasil Lomachenko, of a Gary Russell, then it's like, why did you say that? If you said that you only wanted to fight guys with certain level of names, you know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. You got Jorge Linares. Don't nobody want to see that. You got Francisco Vargas. That's a good fight, but I think he already got he's not available. You got Richard Comey. Nobody wants to see that because Richard Comey just got knocked out by Teofimo Lopez. Luke Campbell just got knocked out. And George Kambosos, he finna go, and nobody want to see that shit anyway. This motherfucker ranked number 11. You got Lee Selby. Nobody want it. See, that's another thing. I don't want to see him fight no Lee Selby. Lee Selby is ranked number 14. Lee Selby that took some L's. Nobody want to see that. And that's some shit that I think they would make. I wouldn't be surprised if they came out and said he was fighting Lee Selby or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to see that. You got Rolly Romero. He's a WBA ranked number 1. I wouldn't be surprised if they now if they. I don't want to see him fight Rolly because Rolly's some shit. But I would understand it. You know what I'm saying? How they roll over there with TMT, because it's an in-house fight. They get all the money, and Rolly Romero, I think he got a secondary title. You got, let me see, Isaac Cruz. You got Robert Easter. Robert Easter, he finna fight. I don't think that's a fight that they would make. I would like to see that. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll beat Robert Easter, but I would like to see that. Robert Easter got a name, you know. But in the rest,
he fight at 140 though.
But yeah, I don't know why they still got him ranked at 135. But yeah, he fighting at 140, so that's off the table. And let me see, Barichek, that would be a good ass fight. Dennis Barichek and Tank Davis, that'll be a good ass fight, but we know that fight wouldn't happen because we don't even know what type of condition Barichek is in. You know, he took a brutal knockout his last fight.
And he at 142, Key.
Yeah, I don't know why they got these dudes at 135. You right.
He was a champ at 140.
Oh, you know what? I didn't mess around and scroll down too far.
Oh, I'm finna say right.
Yeah, because I'm like, where the fuck they popping up in the ranking? No, I messed around and scrolled down too far. But like, yeah, we went over all the names. You dig what I'm saying? Right. We went over all the names, so you can't shit. The names that he shitted on was some huge fights for Tank. And he said that they wasn't. So, like I said, I fuck with Calvin. I fuck with Calvin for a heavy man. He a good ass dude. And I just wasn't feeling what he was saying. I wasn't feeling what he was saying. Now it's like we really got to look at. Now we really gonna be focused on what, right? With binocular lenses, we're gonna be focused on who are they gonna put Tank in the ring with next, because he is gonna get criticized if you don't put him in the ring with one of those names that I said, one of those names that me and Money agreed, like, yeah, we'll accept that. If it's none of those names that we mentioned and you come with somebody else, he gonna get criticized because it's like, okay, well, why did you fight? If you put him in a ring with whoever, why didn't you could have put him in a ring with Devin Haney? They wanted to fight. You could have put him in a ring with motherfucking Vasil Lomachenko. He been calling for the fight. You could have put him in the ring with Gary Russell. He been calling for the fight. So why not? The fight, whoever you put him in the ring with such and such, and we don't even really know him. He don't got no big name. So what was the point of making that fight? You see what I'm saying? So that guy, he said, why the fuck you naming guys that took one L for shaking my damn head? Okay, I want you to tell me who should Tank Davis fight next? Who you want to see him fight next if it's not Teofimo Lopez?
Wait a minute, he say fuck you naming guys that took one L for. Fuck that mean?
But I got a simple question for him. Who do you want to see Tank Davis fight next if it's not Teofimo Lopez or Ryan Garcia? Who should he fight next? Simple question. Put the answer in the comments. Nick say, Rolly talk too much. He need his ass whooped by Tank. Like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing Tank beat his ass. And like I said, I wouldn't. That's a fight that we already know Tank gonna beat his ass. But I will understand if they made that fight because it's an in-house fight. But they wouldn't make that fight because Mayweather don't move like that. He not gonna put his two fighters up against each other.
I ain't interested in no damn Rolly fight.
I'm really not neither. But you know, I think it would sell just because how much Rolly talk. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to see that shit. But so that guy, you can't type no more. Your fingers broke. You forgot how to spell. Your mind went blank. Simple question. You asked me why the fuck was I naming guys that took one L for? Well, I'm asking you a simple question. Put in the box, who do you want to see Tank Davis fight next? If it's not Teofimo Lopez or Ryan Garcia. Simple. J.A. Dixon says, I don't know why the hell they're doing it. He says, I don't know why the hell that I lost it. Oh yeah, he says while they're doing hey, maybe they just, he said he don't know what the hell they doing. Maybe they just want to tip their hand after how that Ryan Garcia BS played out. Maybe they don't want to tip their hand. Knockout Boxer 86 says, we got to get out this bullshit ass mindset. Taking an L don't make you trash. Roy Jones, Bernard Hopkins, Muhammad Ali, Marvin Hagler, Shane Mosley, Canelo Alvarez all took L's. They trash? Exactly. So what I'm saying, like the mindset of the boxing fan is fucked up now. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, bro. That's how I say, name us how many Hall of Famers in the motherfucking Hall of Fame that got an O on their record. It ain't gonna be that many. It ain't gonna be 100 motherfuckers in the Hall of Fame that's undefeated. It ain't that many Hall of Famers with O's on their record, bro. When you fight top competition, guess what? You value. I mean, you may be down to lose a fight when you fighting the best of the best motherfuckers that's on your level with the skills that you have. But that don't make you not a great fucking fighter. It do not make you a Hall of Fame fighter. You go back, you get them back. You feel me? I want to know this, Keith. Why is it's okay to lose in the amateurs, but it's not okay to lose in the professional ranking? And I do get, like, okay, I know the professional is the professional, right? But if you can take a loss in the amateurs, right, and you can still bounce back and become special as a motherfucker, you still can take a loss in professional and come back and be special. Jermell Charlo lost his title. A lot of people thought he won the fight. It doesn't matter if we thought he won or not. He lost. He got an L. But what he do? He came back and revenged that shit. And look at him, still one of the hottest fighters in the fucking game. Canelo, arguably the hottest motherfucking fighter in the game. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, you're going to bounce back, man. It's going to hurt a little bit, but you are going to bounce back. You feel me? He say Burchett, Frampton, Hearn, sorry,
I
my
don't know
guy.
what he's saying. He don't even make sense.
Keon. Miguel Burchett is one hell of a fighter, a world fucking champion. Carl Frampton is a fucking hell of a fighter, fit to fight for another world title when he fight Jermell Hearn.
I didn't even mention. And the funny thing is, I don't know what's wrong with this dude because I didn't mention Burchett, Frampton, or Harrington at all. I didn't even mention them because they tied up and they're not even available. So what does he do? What is he talking about? Money?
I don't know, bro. But listen, dog. In the game,
I didn't even mention them. What is he talking about?
And Key, you always allude to the UFC, bro. These motherfuckers got 4, 5 L's on their records, and these motherfuckers still get praise and love. You feel me? Still praised and love because they fighting the best of the best, bro. You feel me? When you lose, you like I don't give a fuck about a loss, bro. I mean, if one of my favorite fighters lose, yes, I'm gonna be hurt. I'll be like, damn, that nigga took an L, but we got to get that shit back. I talk to fighters that took L's all day, bro. And I talk to the ones that take their first L's, to the ones who already had L's, to undefeated fighters. But I think my brother Kevin Newman, bro, I talked to Kevin when he took his first L. He was hurt. He was fucked up. He like, man, but I'm going to get it back. But that shit wore off so long. And guess what it do, though? It makes you a better fighter. Because I think it take the pressure off your ass for trying to be so fucking perfect. You feel me? It take the pressure off. And I'm not saying nothing wrong with trying to be perfect. I'm not saying you shouldn't strive for greatness. You feel me? But it still takes somebody like, damn, all right, well, I know my old gone, but let me just get back. And you know what I'm saying? Because everybody try to be Floyd, bro. And everybody ain't going to be no Floyd Mayweather, man. Just be who the fuck you are, bro. That's why Keith Thurman was getting so much buzz. I got an O and I ain't afraid to let it go. If you can beat me, beat me. But I just want to fight the best. We love that shit when Keith hit the scene, bro. Like if Keith would have kept that same motherfucking attitude and went in there and fought everybody like it don't matter, man, Keith still one hell of a fighter right now. But he would still be one of the top fucking fighters, and he still would be getting the same praises right now that he got when he had his O, even when he take a loss, bro. You feel me? It ain't about losing. It's about what you do after you lose, and it's about how you lose, dog. You can lose with grace and humility. You can go in there and give up a great fucking fight that could have went either way. You feel me? Where fans still can be like, nah, I still thought he won that fight, bro. But it don't take away from him. Look at Sean Porter. That motherfucker got 3 L's. That motherfucker got 3 L's. And we talking about let's see Sean Porter with an undefeated fighter because we don't know if that undefeated fighter can beat Sean Porter. You see what I'm saying? So, man, we got to really look at this shit, dog, and start looking at the sport for the sport. You feel me? Niggas be looking at this shit as a popularity contest. Oh, this, that, and all that shit. Oh, he ain't got no loss, so this and that. Man, I never praised the O. Even when I was rocking with Floyd Mayweather, I never praised the O. I didn't want to see him lose, but I never praised no fucking O, bro. I don't praise the O. You feel me? I praise the good fighters in this fucking sport that want to be the best, that goes out there and prove they the best, dog. You know what I'm saying? And we know some of these fighters get ducked out here, but at the end of the day, it don't make it right for you to turn around and duck motherfuckers, especially if you're in position to make it happen. So, man, we go see what it is, bro. But that shit, it fucked the game up, dog. It fucked the game up, and it take away from certain fighters that do got skills and that are good fucking competition. Because you want us come here and talk about, oh, he lost. He was nothing but hype. He took a loss. Who did he lose to? Or he lost to an A-level fighter, but he was all hype. How the fuck is he all hype? He lost to an A-level fighter. He put up a great fucking effort, and he showed that he on that level, but he's just all hype, right? Like, it's crazy. Like, even Lomachenko, for instance. Lomachenko took a loss to fucking Teofimo, right? Okay, he took a L. But that don't mean Lomachenko ain't a bad motherfucker. It don't take away everything. Like, that one loss ain't gonna define his entire career, and it ain't finna discredit everything that man did up to that point to me. You feel me? And even like, for instance, let's just talk about the Rigo fight. Because I was with Rigo and that shit, talking to Rigo and things of that nature, wanted Rigo to win, even though I had Lomachenko as the favorite. But even Lomachenko said, when I beat him, I'm not going to get credit, right? And even when Lomachenko beat Rigo, he ain't even go out there and try to shit on them all like that, like, oh, I did this. He took he took the W, and he moved on with his career. You feel me? Now, with this Lomachenko, with this motherfucking Teofimo loss, yeah, he's saying some bitch ass shit. I don't agree with the shit he's saying, but it still don't take away from the man's skill set in the ring. It still don't take away that the man a bad motherfucker and that he's a future Hall of Famer, bro. And that he's still he don't need to get another fight on this belt for me to see him fight Gervonta Davis, because the fight that he put on with Teofimo Lopez, when that shit heated up, and he was touching Teofimo motherfucking ass, and he arguably swept the second half of the fight, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like that he ain't on that level, dog. So To me, bro, it's just different, man. I ain't finna be sitting up here with all this. Oh, he got to beat this person to beat that person. Oh, he took an L. He ain't this. He ain't. Nah, man. I ain't miss me with that bullshit. Cause that man is a hell of a fighter still, dog. And them other fighters are hell of a fighters too. And I want to see that shit.
Man, before we got to get ready to wrap it up. You know, we way over time. Blue blood on. But man, all I gotta say, right, in closing is 2021 is starting to look like some bullshit. When the pandemic first hit, all of these fighters came out. They all wanted to fight each other. All of them was talking big smoke. Now that the shit done died down, it's like these motherfuckers got a virus. For real. A bitch ass virus. It's like I don't know. Boxing is looking real bad right now. Boxing, because it's a whole bunch of talk, but nothing going on. It's a whole bunch of talk, but nothing going on. Boxing got to change, and shit got to change fast, right? We still in the beginning of 2021, but we off to a bad start. We off to a very bad start, but, you know, we still got the whole year ahead of us, and they got to pick it up. They got to pick it up. It's a lot of fights that we should be seeing happen in 2021. All we can do is continue to talk about it, put pressure on these fighters, put pressure on these promoters, and keep doing what we doing as fans. But as fans, we got to change that you know, the way that a lot of y'all think. Because if we continue this shit as fans, making excuses for these fighters, all the bullshit, all the whole ass shit that a lot of you fans is doing, you're going to tear boxing down, right? You're going to tear boxing down. We need to change, right? This is an alpha male sport. These motherfuckers is gladiators, and we need to expect them to be, you know, what they supposed to be and to do what they supposed to do. Fighting the best. If you want to be number one, you got to beat the number one dude. That's it, you know? But anyway, man, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure that you hit that like button. If you have not hit the like button yet, it ain't no excuse. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate everybody for tuning in, everybody in the chat. And Money, before we get up out of here, give me your closing words.
Man, much love to everybody out there, man, that stuck around and fuck with me and my bro, man. Y'all continue to come through, continue to show love. You ain't gonna agree with everything. You feel me? But that's the beauty of boxing, man. Just don't get disrespectful. And you will get answered back too. You could have a dialogue with me and Keon, but keep the shit respectful, bro. You know what I mean? And man, like I say, we ain't holding no hands out here, bro. Respect the game for the game. We ain't playing no tick for tack shit no more in 2021, dog. This year, we want to see the best versus the best. And if it ain't the best, it's going to be the second best. You feel me? Ain't none of that going backwards shit. If you're saying you want to be great, if you're saying you want to go and hurt, you want us to press that motherfucking red button for these motherfucking $79.99s and $59.99s. And it's probably going to get to $99.99. Y'all let's go give us what we want, man. You feel me? It's going to go both ways. Give the fans what they want, and we're going to give you what you want. Y'all let's want the money. We want the best versus the best. You feel me? But y'all tune in tonight, man. I will be going live at 8 p.m. Central Time, 6 o'clock Pacific, and that's 9 o'clock Eastern. You feel me? We're going to continue to cook on a few of these topics. It's all love out there. Y'all continue to follow me and Key. But y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to my brother, Knockout Boxing 86, man. Like we keep saying, that's a brilliant boxer, man. I really rock with Brody, and I want to at least see him get to 500. You know what I'm saying? 500 motherfuckers within this month. You know what I'm saying? Within this month. So it's all love, man. We will be back tomorrow with another fire show. Yeah, I know what it is, man. Big dog status.
Yes, sir. And once again, shout out to that guy, John Kramer, Sheena, and shout out to everybody that
much love to my baby Sheena. Let me say much love to my baby Sheena. You feel me? Always holding me down. Had a correct key because he wasn't gonna send me the link today, y'all, because he's on that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But it's all love, family.
And shout out to everybody. Much love to all of y'all. Appreciate y'all coming through supporting. And you know, we'll be back again tomorrow. And y'all already know how I do. You know what I'm saying? There you go, talking that boxing again. I don't watch reality TV. I watch boxing. And anything ain't everything, but around here, everything boxing. And we out.